What is up, full-time family? It's time for Full-Time MMA Live. Today, there's not a whole lot of just straight news to cover, but we got some sounds to me. Full-time family, it's time for Full-Time MMA Live. Today, alright, that's fixed. But we don't have a lot of news. There's some news we're going to cover, but a lot of it really is coming out of UFC Calgary that takes place this Saturday. So that's actually tomorrow. We're going to cover some of that, and then we're going to look at the card as well as go over our predictions. And we got a special ending to this show. But it's the beginning of the show right now, and if you've been listening for a while, you know what that means. We're going to play this quick little, MMA freestyle to give people some time to roll in, in the group chat. So, and it's two of my favorites. It's Friday. You ain't got no job, man. We're going to talk about some fights today. Let's get into it.
Hey yo, Rafi dos nachos, I'm about to kick your ass, yeah, I'ma fold you like tacos. At UFC 225, you're probably gonna try to submit me, but I'ma show you like Maya Jiu-Jitsu shitty. And I won't feel no pity when I beat you to submission, cause I'm the king of chaos, nigga, anyone can get it. And Tyron's probably mad now, talking all about how everyone is racist, yeah, well, I'ma beat his face in. Give him what the world wants, Kobe with the curb stomp, no one's gonna stop me, not Usman Till or Bobby Nugs. Now RDA's about to spit and it probably sucks. Stevens aside, racism aside. Hey Kobe, it's time to talk about your lies. Let's talk about Kelsey Monroe. You said you banged a porn star, but she said hell no. How much you pay that girl, Kobe? Maybe you should have paid more. Word in Brazil is Coby Covington's on the down low. You talk a lot about my people, why won't you talk about those? And I ain't homophobic, just admit you're smoking on poles. Yo. Full-time family.
Yo. Just admit you're smoking on poles. Ain't nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what the fuck is up, full-time family? I see somebody coming in with the hot all caps lock message. They're clearly pissed off about something going on in the MMA world. Let's see what's going on with the good brother. But what the heck is going on? Let me see if I can minimize this or something, because for some reason they give me my chat. There we are. What did he say? Legendary boxer said, for 2 years, UFC channels have been lying to the public about Conor McTapout coming back soon. LMFAO. Conor vs. Khabib will never happen. Conor is done with MMA. Mark my words, bro. Okay, if he's done with MMA, what's next? Fucking jiu-jitsu? Is he just going to box forever? You think he's just going to fucking go fucking sell drugs? What is Conor going to do if he doesn't come back to MMA? Come on, dog. I get it. I know there's some people that feel like he's never coming back. And I don't think people have been for 2 years lying about his UFC comeback either. Have been lying about Conor McTapout coming back soon. Remember, he was fighting Floyd Mayweather the whole last year, so that kind of takes away from that argument there. And after Floyd Mayweather, I didn't hear about, I'm coming back this fucking week. Maybe there was a little bit of news headlines about Conor versus Floyd in the UFC, but I think, you might just be a little Conor McGregor hater, if I might say. That's what it sounds like to me. Conor vs. Khabib will never happen. You think the UFC doesn't want the biggest fight in UFC history to take place? You think Conor McGregor's going over to fucking Russia and meeting with Putin just for fun? You think Khabib confronted Artem just because they're not going to fight? Come on, dog. This shit's going down, whether you like it or not. It's happening. Sorry, legendary boxer, but it's happening. Now, with that being said, hold on. Whoa, Charlie motherfucking Sellers! My motherfucking dog. I don't even want to say what I thought happened, bro. I tried to email you, homie. I motherfucking tried to. I was worried about you, dog, because I know the medical situation, and I hadn't heard back from you in such a long time. I was like, yo, what happened to my motherfucking dog? The doctor won't let me fly. Hey, at least you're here, still kicking. You know what I'm saying? My motherfucking dog. What is up? Yeah, man. As far as the whole care package thing, I don't know if you remember what happened last time. It was a close call, so we got to be careful with that. I got to wait till I get like a P.O. box or something. But actually, well, yeah, even if I'm going to be moving, I ain't trying to have no motherfucking feds on my trail. No, but either way, man, good to see Charlie Sellers yank my dandy doodle forward. My motherfucking family, group hug. No, but we got another fucking song, family. I wasn't done. I just seen Legendary Boxer. He was on it. But this is one of my favorites and one of the most recent. You got covered. Well, that's good to see, Charlie Sellers. Email me, though, bro, because I'll check my email and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we can chop it up here, too. But Let me hit this play button. Fuck you, Tab Matt. DC, double champ. Look at me. Y'all ready? Hey, go.
Nobody fucking with me, yeah. I'm about to go be Stipe, yeah. Moving up to heavyweight, yeah. And I am destined to be great, yeah. And if you didn't know, they call me DC. And there's no one that you know that can beat me. Yeah, I fought John Jones, but was he clean? I don't think so. What's in that PP? Steroids, cocaine, probably weed. Testosterone, dick pills, and speed. And shrooms, and pills, and codeine. Goddamn, John turned into a dope fiend. And Stipe's about to turn into a folding chair. When I fold him up, I'ma win 2 belts and hold him up. On my champ shit, Conor knows what's up, little bitch.
Yeah. Hey, fuck on me. Look on me. Oh, my bad. I got carried away there. Tony Ferguson battle rap still my favorite, and that's the one we play the least because I didn't record it like these. I just, did it in an actual video, so I don't even be pulling that one up. I low-key forgot about that one. Let's see if we can find that one low-key. Tony Ferguson, God's Plan remix. Come on. Y'all ain't gonna pull it up? Y'all ain't gonna pull up the Tony Ferguson God's Plan? Full-time MMA God's Plan remix. Damn, shitting on anybody that wants to see it. You couldn't find it if you wanted to. God's Plan remix. Tony Ferguson. There it is. You fucking type in 10 words if you want to find the video. Hold up.
Lo and behold, we jinxed Tony versus Quintin. That being said, hey, yeah, they wishing on me. Hey, it's Tony time, bitch. I don't care who's fucking with me. Staying away from tiramisu's a struggle for Khabib. You don't wanna fight, you wanna cuddle with me. My elbows are knives and I'ma cut you with these. I don't really give a fuck who's with me. If this fat fuck will make way to big mystery. If you were smart, then you would probably pick me to submit Khabib at UFC 223. Tony time. I knock out, sometimes I choke. I might be the lightweight goat. I'm gonna do what Conor won't. I'll defend against Khabib. Might go up and fight Woodley. Move back down and fight Eddie. And still injured. I just ripped my fucking leg and now Max Holloway's replacing me at UFC 223. Hey.
Yo, that last part, I didn't even write that down. It just came out and I was like, yo, that's pretty funny. But yo, what is up, full-time family? Y'all know what the fuck time is. It's full-time MMA live, man. If you don't you know what I'm saying? If you're listening to the replay, don't type your comment about how you don't like rap and how you're unsubbing, motherfucker. Either skip to the part where we ain't doing music or see you when I see you. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. I knock out, sometimes I choke. Hey. I might be the lightweight goat. Hey, no. But with that being said, we got news to talk about. We got the family in the building. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. We about to talk about some fights today. Let's motherfucking jump right into it and make sure you hit the thumbs button if you're fucking with your boy. You know what I'm saying to everybody listening. So, we got Conor McGregor eager to set his fight date following court proceedings, which means he's eager to come back. Just a legendary boxer he's never coming back. No, but you know who else doesn't think he's coming back? My brother, but my brother's a super casual fan, so maybe that explains it. You know, maybe you just ain't really keeping up with MMA. Maybe you don't realize this is the biggest fucking fight in UFC history. It's more than likely gonna happen. Conor McGregor just had his court proceedings yesterday. Felonies knocked off. He's cleared to fight. What do you think? And we got his team literally telling you Conor's ready to fight. Conor's eager to get back in there. What do you think he's gonna do? Stay out forever? You think Conor just... Come on, dog. You think Conor's gonna never fight again, really? Come on, Microwave. What you thinking, dog? This shit's happening this year. The question is, will it happen in October, November, or December? That's all we gotta wonder about. And honestly, I think we're gonna have a fight announcement sooner rather than later. Because Conor McGregor's eager to set that fight date, according to his coach, Owen Roddy. This is what he had to say. That's what we all envisioned would happen. It's just great to be able to get back to doing what we love to do. Conor has been eager to get back out there. He's been eager to get something in front of him to set a date and push for a fight. I think now that it's out the way, the potential for Conor to get back in there is very, very high. He continued to say, everything was put on hold because of this court proceeding. We all hoped that he would get this news that we got today, but of course, nothing could have been set in stone before the decision came through. Anything could have happened, so everything had to be put on hold until no more music. All right, let me take the headphones out. So everything had to be put on hold until Conor got this sorted. I know we are all eager to see what's coming next, and I'm sure something's going to get lined up. So a lot of people, and even Conor's team before the court proceedings, they've already been saying it feels like the Khabib fight is next. I mean, we had a feeling. This is like the same feeling, and I'm speaking from his team. They said they have the same feeling now that they had before the Floyd Mayweather fight. Before it was set in stone, but the rumblings were there. They were looking toward it, and then it actually came to fruition. So, man, I'm at like a 90% chance Conor McGregor, if you're asking the odds on when, if Conor's coming back, like the percentage chance, I'm about 90% sure Conor McGregor comes back this year to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. And honestly, it's going to be Khabib as well. Like I think it's pretty much set in stone. They really just had to wait on this date. But we've seen both of them were at the fucking World Cup. Conor's meeting with Putin. He's talking about building a Russian compound. Habib's ready to smash. He's talking about everyone will be punished for their actions soon. Let's fucking go. And to be fair, even if it's not Conor McGregor, I honestly, as an MMA fan, I'm not going to lie and act like I give too much of a fuck. I really do want to see Conor McGregor come back to the octagon, and I think it's going to happen. But I would still love to see fucking Khabib versus Ferguson, or Khabib versus Alvarez, or Khabib versus Poirier, or just this lightweight division to get shit shaken. So even if it's not Conor McGregor, I'm not going to sit here and cry, you know what I'm saying? Oh no, it might not be Conor. Oh well, we'll see Conor when we see him. Motherfucking, if we see Khabib back, let's fucking go. I'm just excited. It's getting toward the end of the year. It's going to be nothing but great cards from here on out. That's the fuck I'm talking about. So it is what it is. But Conor is eager according to his team, and I don't know why they would lie, right? Like, he's eager to come back and get a fight date set. He's even been on Instagram posting pictures of him training. You think he's training just because he wants to sit on the couch or go do fashion? No, he's over there in Brazil training jiu-jitsu just because he knows he's likely to be on his motherfucking back in this fight. And if that does happen, if Khabib does get him to the mat, you're about to see a Conor McGregor triangle choke that you never thought you were going to see. That's what I'm saying. So Conor's training for a grappler. We've seen him training with some strong wrestlers leading up to the fight. He's staying ready, so he ain't got to get ready. He's been waiting. He's been having his cardio on point since after the Mayweather fight. Been fucking with that McGregor Fast program, man. Y'all about to see the Don back in the octagon. That's all I'm saying. And his team agrees. So we got more to talk about, though. Let's see what's going on with the full-time family. Let's see. We got Infamous. He said he was supposed to train with Woodley, but that never came to be. Who was supposed to train with Woodley? Giving sure name in the building. Web PK Vid says, what up, full-time family? Not too much, brother. Forward says, is there any update on Mayweather and his MMA training? All I see is his beef with 50 Cent. Yeah, maybe he fights 50 Cent in MMA. That would be a better fight. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see 50 Cent versus Floyd in MMA, but as far as him coming to the octagon, I never really bought that, honestly. Fucking changing the rules. How does that work? Like, where do you go? All right, like, do you tell the Las Vegas Commission, hey, we're about to, like, make a new sport overnight? You know, it's going to be MMA, but not with the rules you guys have for MMA. You know, we're going to, since Floyd Mayweather sucks at MMA, you know, we're going to take takedowns out of the equation. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? That was a whole shit show to me anyway. Floyd Mayweather coming to the octagon with different rules? What the fuck? So, yeah, and so I'm not surprised he kind of stopped talking about that. And and that's who you were saying was supposed to be training with Woodley. We never heard about him training with Woodley either. Okay. I knock out sometimes, I choke. Hey, I might be the lightweight goat. Caleb Dowling in the building. What's going on? Not much. Just checking out the full-time family had to say. Bro, Conor is an Instagram model, said Given Share name. He looking good. Pause. No, he ain't, dog. Conor McGregor's a motherfucking Don. My Conor McGregor fanboy's coming back out. He's cleared to fight. Leave Conor alone. You guys leave Conor alone. Will not happen here. I'm just fucking around. Yo. Pulls out a triangle, I'm down. I'm just saying, he went to the, what? Now, I just thought about this, but he went to the source. Brazil to train. It looked like jiu-jitsu, right? He was in Brazil. He was like, Vamos Brasilia, and then he had the black gi on. So it looked like he was in Brazil training jiu-jitsu. My thoughts are, I thought we already had the jiu-jitsu coach. What happened with Dylan Dennis? Maybe Dylan Dennis has been spending more time, frosting his hair, you know what I'm saying, than training jiu-jitsu with Conor. I'm not sure. But I'm just, Dylan Dennis, I thought, was Conor McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach. Maybe Conor McGregor wanted to turn it up a notch. Fuck that. Dylan Dennis, I appreciate what you've done for me. If you want to come, you can too. But I feel like we need to go to the heart of jiu-jitsu. Brazilian jiu-jitsu. We got to go to Brazil to be able to train for Khabib. But yeah, would be hard to deny the man says forward. McGregor's the GOAT if he KOs Khabib and Tony. Oh yeah, if he can KO Khabib and Tony, I don't give a fuck what no one's talking about. That would be so fucking. If he could get through Khabib and Tony, that's pound for pound number one. That's unheard of type of shit. That's very impressive. But he would honestly, I really feel like, and I could be wrong, I really feel like Conor McGregor's only coming back for the biggest fights possible. I kind of feel like he's in a situation like Daniel Cormier, except for I don't know if he's going to retire as soon, but he could honestly retire as early as he wanted to. But I think he's going to fight the biggest fights possible. And it's gonna be like a GSP situation where it's the lowest risk, highest reward. So if it's a big fight and there's a lower risk, he'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think he's gonna be if he beats Khabib, because Khabib's a very high risk, but there's also a high reward. And I say that because I'm really talking about Tony Ferguson. I don't know if Conor's ever gonna fight Ferguson. He might just do it if he just wants to prove it to himself. But aside from that one little picture he posted that just said Tony with the GTA theme, he's never even said shit about Tony Ferguson. He don't talk about Tony Ferguson. He don't build. He ain't even worked toward building a fight with Ferguson. Like, hey, I got my eye on this fucking Ferguson kid when I'm done with. He ain't saying shit about Tony. There was a while where Tony Ferguson was like, hashtag say my name, motherfucker, or something like that, because he would never say his name. And then finally he just said Tony, but he didn't say like Ferguson or El Kukui. But, so I don't know if he's going to fight Ferguson because he's not as big of a fight. Tony Ferguson's definitely not as big of a star as Nate Diaz, Khabib, Floyd Mayweather. And it's a very high risk. So I don't know if he would fight Ferguson in that sense. Not that he's scared of him, just because it's not a huge fight, So yeah, man, and it's very dangerous. It's a high risk, low reward. And usually the fighters are looking for the exact opposite situation. Forward says, for me, whoever comes out on top of that trifecta at lightweight enters GOAT discussions. I hope the mess at the top is resolved like middleweight via the Grim Reaper Bobby Knuckles. Man, and what's crazy is it kind of was. Tony Ferguson kind of already went on that, warpath, winning 11 fights to get to the top. But he got stripped of that interim title, and there's still some guys in the top 5 he hasn't fought, though. Like Poirier and Alvarez. So, Bobby Knuckles, he definitely had to go through fucking Jacare, and then Whitaker. Whitaker had to go through Jacare and then Romero twice. He actually had to fucking knock some of the best guys off to get his title fight. But yeah, I feel like Tony Ferguson's kind of did that as well. It was unfortunate whenever he had to fight Lando Venata on short notice, but that's just because his opponent fell out. But it's crazy that him and fucking Khabib have been booked to fight 4 times and it never came to fruition. That's pretty unfortunate. John Doe said Ferguson might get knocked out by Conor. He put his chin out there too much. I can see Tony Ferguson coming back and win like he usually does too. Yeah, man. Ferguson, that's the thing, man. That's really the thing about Conor, though. That's the deal with Khabib too. You know what I'm saying? It's not that his chin is just all the way out there, but as of late, you can say you might have seen some striking holes in Khabib's game. And same with Ferguson, same with Khabib. If Conor McGregor touches that chin, if he snipes that chin, there's a very real chance he finishes the fight shortly after. So, all of these lightweight fights are amazing. Hopefully, that's why this fight needs to happen sooner rather than later. I'm talking October rather than November. I don't want to wait an extra month. I'm trying to get this fight over with. It's going to be a great fight. I'm not trying to rush the fight. I know it's got to build to be as big as it can be, but I still want it to happen as soon as possible because I'm ready to see this lightweight division shaking, man. I get it. Do your big business. This is big business, you know what I'm saying? This ain't just UFC shit. This is big business. We're talking about country versus country type shit. Conor McGregor versus Khabib. That's almost fucking, that's just bigger than a lightweight fight. That's the biggest fight in UFC history. So it's got to happen. But the thing is, man, it's a dangerous fight. So, the lightweight division, though, check this out. Just under Conor McGregor and Khabib, under the mega fight, you got Poirier and Alvarez. I mean, just looking at UFC Calgary, and this is something I want to show you guys. Let's do this real quick. Just because these guys don't have the belt on their shoulder, that's the only reason this isn't a fucking mega card. You realize, like, this is the only reason these guys aren't champion is a technicality. You know, if the lightweight division wasn't clogged up with Khabib and Conor, one of these guys could be the champion. That's the only difference here. If they had that belt on the shoulder, this would be a title fight. We know they're good enough. Dustin Poirier could have already fought for the title. Fucking Eddie Alvarez has been the champion. We know he can be the lightweight champion. But hold on. Look at all of these former champions on one fucking card, and it's going to be free. One win, and these fighters are champions. There's no way we get to see them on UFC Calgary. Any of these could be on a fucking pay-per-view if these guys were just still the champion. If Aldo was still the champion, this is not on Calgary. If Joanna was still the champion, this is not on Calgary. It's a pay-per-view. These are 3 fights with people that could legitimately be champions, and we wouldn't be seeing this such a stacked card. That's why this card is so stacked. I mean, just on top of 3 potential champions, you've got these 4 guys, you know, all have a history with Conor McGregor as well. So this card is insane, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I was just looking at that like, man, if any of these people were still champions, we wouldn't have this stacked of a card. That's why this is so crazy how stacked this main card is. So I think that's super dope. But yeah, I see Coach in the building. Coach Shelton Harrison. There'll never be no comparison. You're live for the show. Sit back and have a listen. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Coach Shelton Harrison's channel if you guys are into WMMA. He covers MMA and a lot of other topics. One of my favorite channels to listen to, especially for WMMA. And sometimes I even click the boxing videos, you know, just to hear Coach's opinion. Very entertaining channel. Make sure you hit subscribe. That's a great channel over there. So, Aaron Burrell in the building. We got the whole it's a family affair. Gang fight in the parking lot after the pay-per-view, said Aaron Burrell. Yo, I'm telling you, this shit is deeper than rap, bro. This is like gangs in New York. After the fight, they're going to like meet in the alleyway, maybe the parking lot. Maybe they don't even, you know, get to the point to where they have a mutual location, you know. Maybe it just happens in the parking lot, gangs in New York style, and God forbid there's no weapons. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's just a brawl and there's no weapons, but this is some serious shit. But for real, though, this is deeper than rap. This is deeper than the UFC. These people, holy smokes, like, that's almost making me cheese thinking about the potential just fight itself. Like, there's so much on the line for both of them. They're both riding for their whole fucking countries, their whole crews. Everything is riding on them. The Conor McGregor and Khabib in that octagon. The fucking cage is closed. You got half the world on one person's side, half the world on the other person's side. Whole world fucking tuning in to see what happens. But God, that's gonna be crazy. It has to happen, legendary boxer. So, but yeah, man, gang fight in the motherfucking parking lot. They need to have, they need to have like the UFC cameramen ready at all time. Like they need to have a mobile camera crew. Like you guys, if Khabib goes to the parking lot, if Conor McGregor goes to the back door anywhere, we need to be on it. We can't miss none of this. We gotta film everything. Appreciate it, Coach. He said my favorite MMA channel. I appreciate it, good sir. Full time, I'm wrenching you up. That's dope, Coach. You know what? I'm gonna wrench you up too, man. One of my favorite channels, but you know what I'm saying. The trolls sometimes they'll be here. I know you'll be tempted to hit them with the wrench, and go ahead and do it if you need to. I'm just saying, you know, you might have to do it sometime. There's gonna be some trolls, so be careful. Be ready to wrench them, Coach. Mr. Perfect said, "What up, full-time fam?" Not much, Mr. Perfect 2005. What's going on? Yo, we actually had a troll ask for a wrench. What was that motherfucker's name? Interest Gaming. Coach, there was someone that be on your channel. His name was Interest Gaming, and I, you know, just listening to a couple live shows. I seen him on the chat. He was calling me fake news MMA and stuff. This motherfucker gonna ask me for a wrench. he was like, yo, throw me a wrench. You giving out a wrench? I was like, I literally saw you talking shit on the other channel. It's funny, people that be asking for a wrench. But yeah, man. So we got Coach Shelton Harrison in the building. I appreciate it, and yeah, Coach be holding me down too, you guys. So make sure you subscribe. There's trolls over there trolling. He don't play that stuff. So one of my favorites. But Dominick Cruz cleared to return to action, hopes to fight before the end of the year. Let's go, man. Always ready to see a Dominick Cruz fight. The unfortunate part is his career has been plagued with injuries, and somewhat serious injuries. I mean, He was stripped due to injuries. That's how serious that injury was. You know, the UFC usually doesn't strip their champions unless they're out for a while with a significant injury that's going to prevent them from coming back. So Dominick Cruz already was dealing with leg injuries coming into his fight with Jimmy Rivera, where he was scheduled to fight at, I believe, UFC 219. Now he broke his arm in that training camp. It's like, mother truck. This is like the bicentennial man or some shit. Like, broken arms, broken legs and ankles, or MCLs, ACLs. It's like, damn, I hope my man can come back and look as good as he once was, but you never know. So I can't wait to see Dominick. When I saw this news, I got excited. Like, let's fucking go. Dominick Cruz is back. I can't wait to see Dominick Cruz back in action. And on top of all of just Dominick Cruz's fighting, though, which is I always like watching, I think Dominick Cruz might be the best. I'm talking number one. He might be the number one trash talker in MMA. And it might be a little different. You know, it's not the shock value type of trash talk. It's my kind of trash talk that I enjoy. And maybe some people, that's why you might disagree, because the kind of trash talk is different. But he's just very fucking quick-witted, and his shit is on point. Like, if you come at him, he's got the rebuttals for you. It's not like a Coby Covington situation where he just has some shit prepared to say, and he can't handle it if Michael Bisping comes at him, right? And like, whenever we saw Coby Covington and Michael Bisping have that exchange, and some people were, oh, that was so unprofessional by fucking Michael Bisping. It's like, what? Coby Covington's the number one asshole talking all this shit on all these people. Now Michael Bisping gives him a taste of his own medicine, and Michael Bisping's in the wrong. Dominick Cruz is the type of dude, if he was talking that trash and you came at him, he's got a response for you. He don't need no writers to write him a good one, none of that. He's coming at you, and it's some heat. It's going to be funny. It's going to be witty. I fuck with Dominick Cruz's trash talk, man. And so that's another reason I'm kind of ready to see him come back to a fight, because he makes it interesting. And he's also good at his job, you know, outside of fighting. So that's one good thing about Dominick Cruz. Even if, you know, he doesn't have the best ideal story, you know, book ending to his career, if he doesn't get his belt back and whatnot, he's still got a future in the sport, a bright future. Whether he's doing commentating, if he's on the Fox desk, he does the cage side commentary. So, you know, big fan of Dominick Cruz for many reasons. That's why I'm excited about his return. Now, who's he going to fight? That's a good question. He could be a guy looking for those bigger fights, those rematches with TJ Dillashaw, with Dominick Cruz. You know, I think Dominick Cruz is at a point in his career where he's like, man, I've already dealt with injuries. I'm not just trying to fucking put myself through grueling training camps to fight guys that are trying to make a name off of me. I want the biggest fights possible at the end of my career. And those biggest fights are going to be rematches with Cody Garbrandt and rematches with TJ Dillashaw to get back to the title. So you got guys like Aljamain Sterling calling him out. You got guys like Marlon Moraes that would love to fight him, that are up-and-coming killers in the bantamweight division. But I don't know if Dominick Cruz is going to be super interested in those matchups. But this is what he had to say. I don't know. I just got cleared by the doctor, so I'm good to go. I'll talk to the UFC matchmaker Sean Shelby. I'll talk to everybody. I'm on track, though, so I'll be going to fight. I'm going to fight before the end of the year is my goal, so we'll see what happens. I know TJ Dillashaw and Cody are fighting, so I should be having the winner of that. I don't know about that. Maybe the loser. I'd like to see you against the loser for sure. But he continued. That's what everybody wants to see, so hopefully somebody gets some wits about them and gives me that fight right away. We'll see what happens. So you can kind of see where his mind is. He wants that belt back ASAP. But coming off of the loss, you know, the way he lost, I mean, it was very impressive for Cody Garbrandt and unfortunate for Dominick Cruz. But coming off of that title loss, he was already booked to fight Rivera. I don't know if he's going to get an immediate title shot, and I don't even know if necessarily that's what I want. You know, I would, of course, if Dominick Cruz got it, if the UFC offered it to him, I wouldn't expect him to say no, kind of like Darren Till. What am I supposed to do, say no when the UFC offers me a title fight? You know, but I think the loser of Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw might be a good option for Dominick Cruz. Because, for one, it's going to let us know where he's at. And for two, it's going to be him earning that title shot back. And for three, we don't know what the winner of that fight's going to want to do. Maybe the winner of TJ versus Cody wants to fight Demetrius Johnson next. Maybe the winner of Demetrius versus Cody wants... What if Cody wins? Maybe he wants a fucking rematch. There's a lot of stuff that has to play out. But Dominick Cruz is still wanting that title shot. Given Surname said, yeah, he was heated. You're right. Cruz was in his head. I just meant it didn't fuck him up in the fight. Yeah, they were definitely, yeah. Before the fight, Cruz was in Garbrandt's head, and that's good for Garbrandt. It didn't fuck him up in the fight, but Cruz, he had him ready to go. Like there was a time where they were like in different rooms, but they were still right next door to each other, and they were talking trash on the fight. Some of you guys might remember this, but Cody Garbrandt was ready to take the headset off and come to the next room. Motherfucker, what'd you say? Like, I'll come over there right now. Like, he started to get up and take his headset off because Dominick Cruz was just hitting him up with that fucking verbal onslaught. That motherfucking, you're just too, what do you call him, stupid, whatever. But whatever Dominick Cruz was saying to Cody, and got him to the point where he said, I'm about done with this live interview. I'm about to come to that room, and we can handle it that way. So, that was a fucking great sequence of events there. Aaron Burrell said Cruz should beat the loser first. Yeah, where great minds think alike. That's what I was thinking. Big Dog Burrell in the building. Gary Kendrick Jr., it's a family affair. He said, if Dominick Cruz gets hurt again, he'll probably retire anyway. I'm thinking this is his last run. Yeah, so that's why I don't think he's trying to fucking go through Aljamain and then go through Marlon and then go through the title fight. I think he's trying to, get that title fight as soon as possible. So, yeah. This is the perfect example of the UFC throwing a fighter in at the deep end. A Mizugaki-level opponent would be perfect. Are you talking about for Dominick Cruz? That would be. But Dominick Cruz is a guy that he doesn't want the Mitsugaki level fight. He wants thrown into the deep end. Wrath of a Raider says, keep your fling on a string. John Doe says, isn't Cruz hurt right now? Yeah, he just got cleared to fight. So now he's unhurt. Now he's about ready to get back in there. He did have a broken arm he was coming off of. Who you people got in the Costa versus Yoel fight, says Caleb Dowling. That's a good question. But with that being said, Tyron Woodley sounding off, his new employer, TMZ. He said, at some point, we have to go back to a fucking sport. Hey, I like why, I ain't read this yet or heard his interview, and I'm probably not going to hit play because it's on TMZ, but we'll read what he had to say. Goddamn, he had a lot to say. But, I mean, you kind of get the gist of it from the title, right? At some point, we have to go back to the fucking sport. At some point, there needs to be some integrity in this thing, or people ain't going to give a damn about the fights. At some point, we got to stop doing all of this. What he's saying is we have to go from the Ultimate Fighting Circus back to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He said, did we expect anything different? Did we expect him to really do some hard time? Did we really expect the UFC to reprimand Conor McGregor? We didn't. He's a star in the UFC. He's bringing in a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars. He's become larger than life in his own right. So with that comes exclusion. Some people felt like Conor McGregor's, his actions deserved punishment. And this is another situation where someone might, maybe the UFC should punish them, but instead they get rewarded. I mean, you miss weight, you get rewarded with the title fight. You throw a dolly at a window, you get rewarded with the biggest fight in UFC history and a slap on the wrist, So it's like the circus is paying off. You miss weight. Normally, if you want someone to stop missing weight, you got to give them some sort of punishment. And instead, we see Darren Till getting a title shot, Yoel Romero getting a title shot, and then now he's looking for another title shot after missing weight 2 times in a row. But at a different division, but still, it's just kind of crazy. Sometimes it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? He said he becomes an outlier. He gets constant passes. He's doing what he's allowed to do. There's been no real punishment on him. There's been no real stipulation. He's actually being rewarded after these things because he's hyping up the fight and he's trying to portray this image of Scarface kind of, He's got this Metro PCS walk and this larger-than-life mobster, which he's really not. You know what I'm saying? That's Connor McTeller, man. Like, if you're looking at all the stuff going on in the background and on the sidelines, low-key looks like a motherfucking mobster, low-key, with getting into fights. We've heard reports and rumors that maybe he was fighting with Irish mobsters over there. He's fucking got this fucking gangs from New York thing going on with Khabib. He's throwing dollies and shit like Conor McGregor. He's not looking like a normal human. And then when he gets in trouble, he gets off of it. We got great lawyers or the money or whatever. But yeah, for sure. He said, but they are using it. Did you need something, Michael? Oh, okay.
I don't want to bother you.
Oh, what did you? Yeah, not
you got the other bench.
Oh, the other one?
It was down there.
I'm not sure, yeah. Let me check that table. Michael Wave said, what up, full-time family? But yeah, so He said, but they're using it as something to boost the fight. So now that he gets free of this, he's probably going to get to fight in October. To me, at some point, we have to go back to the fucking sport called mixed martial arts. It's a sport. It's starting to get out of control. And not only that, it's completely lopsided on who can get away with what type of shit. Let me throw a fucking dolly. Let me throw a penny at a go-kart. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Tyron Woodley spitting some more of that real shit. You know, like I said, Tyron Woodley says a bunch of real shit. 9 out of 10 times he's spitting, some real spill. But then one time he'll throw out something that people can hang on to, like, no, motherfucking boring motherfucker, remember when you said that? Like, oh shit, my bad. I guess I won't say anything. But yeah, I like what Tyron Woodley for sure had to say there. And maybe we do, maybe we don't. Do you guys think we ever go back to a sport, or are we just gonna be searching it up forever? If you went to Kenny's though, you should let me get half of that. But I mean, I'll come down there afterward, talk about it. If not, it don't matter. But also we got Michael Bisping, speaking of Tyron Woodley, reacting to the UFC's plans to strip Coby Covington of the interim title. This is actually a video we can watch because it was posted on Twitter, so we'll watch that together. Let me get my headphones. Bojanglecheck finna finish Tecia Torres tomorrow, says forwards via spinning shit. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to see Joanna get back on the winning track. It's kind of crazy seeing her lose these fights in a row. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Tecia Torres, not only has she been training with Rose Namajunas, she's got a lot to fight for. So I know I'm picking Joanna to win. I know Coach is picking Joanna to win. I know probably everybody's picking Joanna to win. But I still like the fight. I'm still going to be watching. It's not one of those things where I think, oh, it's just a shoe-in. Ticia's got a lot to fight for, man. On top of Joanna being a former champion, if she can get a win over a former champion, she's already got a win over the current champion, Rose Namajunas. They're 1-1. So if Tecia Torres can beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, not only does she get a win over a former champion, but she just threw herself into title contention, because now it's going to be out of her and Jessica Andrade who gets the title shot. And if Rose Namajunas does what all the other biggest fighters in the sport do, if she does what Conor McGregor does, if she does what GSP does, if she does what all of these guys do, Floyd and Mayweather, she's going to fight Tecia Torres because she's the highest reward and the lowest risk. Jessica Andrade isn't as big of a name. It's not a trilogy fight, and it's going to be less money and a harder fight. So if Tecia can win, she's throwing herself into title contention. She's been training with Rose Namajunas, or some people say she's more been training with Pat Barry and the crew than straight with Rose. But either way, man, they had what it took to beat Joanna before. Now, I would love to see Tecia just training with Valentina Shevchenko. That'd be even better. Go straight to the source. No, not none of this middleman shit, Right now, we're doing some middleman training. Like, look, she beat Joanna and showed Rose how to beat Joanna. Now we're going to show you how to beat Joanna. It might work, but I think she would be better suited to be training with the Bullet. But now the Bullet might have her own fight to prepare for with Nico Montano. So I'm still looking forward to this Joanna versus Tecia Torres fight. But for sure, Tecia might get finished with some spinning shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility, but I can't wait for the fight. Ticia's not Rose, says Coach, and he'd be the one to tell you. So yeah, Tecia, she might not be able to get it done. She's definitely not Rose. I'm just wondering how training with Rose's team, if she can improve enough to potentially maybe, pull it out, squeak it out. Maybe not. She is one of the biggest underdogs on the card. So, a lot of people are for sure counting Tecia out. Maybe she does just get wiped. But another motherfucking something just to throw into the pot of chance for Tecia Torres, the weight cut. I don't know if Joanna's weight cut's going to get any better. So what if she comes into this fight drained like, man, I really got to move up. If she loses this fight, for sure she's got to go back up. So, but yeah, I think it's going to still be a good fight. This is dumb because Tecia may have to fight Rose again. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like you're training with Rose kind of to beat Joanna, but if you beat Joanna, you might have to fight Rose. So that's weird because it's like now they kind of know something on you because they just helped train in you. So, man, that's some crazy stuff, brother. That's some stuff that's kind of got me thinking like, man, this is, it's kind of like got a lot of underlying drama behind this shit, low key. Like, well, yo, what the fuck is going on here with the the strawweight title picture? Rose Namajunas is injured right now, but there's a lot of stuff playing out. I mean, think about UFC 228. Bunch of great fights on that card. One of those being Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Jessica Andrade. That's a might be a title eliminator. Who knows? If Jessica wins that fight, I mean, she's already earned the #1 contender fight. You would think she can't get skipped. But if Rose Namajunas takes the path of Conor McGregor or GSP or any of these other stars that she might want to emulate because they're making the most money, they're the biggest stars in the sport, you might take the lower risk, higher reward. And that would for sure be Tecia Torres. But there's a lot that has to happen. We're not going to go that route yet because it seems like the most unlikely scenarios have to play out. Like, for one, Ticia's got to beat Joanna. That's tough, you know. So if she can do that, then we'll definitely have to have this conversation. So we'll figure that out tomorrow, and we'll definitely probably be talking about this Monday if she can find a way to pull out the W, which is going to be hard. Given Name said he's going to sue him. Let's see. Aaron Burrow said Khabib just said big announcement tomorrow. Oh, snaps! Did he say that on Instagram or something? If so, we got to pull it out. Yo, big announcement tomorrow. What the fuck could it be? Yo, I cannot wait for tomorrow, family. Oh, and it's Dana White's birthday card. UFC Calgary is a big event. Maybe they announced the fight, man. If they announced the fight, I might, I can't do it. I was going to say, flip. I just want to flip some shit. I'm so excited, but I don't want to damage any of my property because I can't replace it. But I just want to flip some shit if it gets announced tomorrow. He's live on a Q&A. Oh, snaps. That's dope. That's dope. Oh, maybe we can watch that now. Let's go to Instagram. Y'all want to fucking live look in on Khabib's Instagram? Khabib, are you live, brother? Khabib. Nurmagomedov. Are we live right now? Maybe not right now. Coach said, let's troll. I'm not trolling him. I want to tune in, man. I fuck with Khabib. But maybe we can, try and squeeze some of the answers out of him. Man, yeah, but if he was live, I would definitely tune in just to check it out. But I don't know if I can see it right here. Let me pull up this Instagram app. Maybe we can see it live over here. Khabib athlete appearance July 27th. Oh, that's right now, maybe. In Calgary. Oh, Khabib's in Calgary. Let's see. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Here's Khabib's story. But it's not him being live, but check out his story, you know.
Coach. What is his coach?
I'm your bodyguard today.
You're my bodyguard?
So my Instagram manager told me I haven't done a story.
Right. With that being said, I didn't see his live, but either way, man, big announcement tomorrow. I'm fucking hyped. Conor versus Khabib, says Caleb Dowling. Allegedly over the whole Eskimos brothers comment. Oh, gonna sue who? Yeah, I heard. Oh, are you talking about Dana White potentially suing Brendan Schaub? I heard some stuff about that. But I don't know if he's got much of a case. You know, just looking at some of the stuff on that, and it wasn't reported by any big MMA websites actually. But I did hear potentially Dana White may be looking at a defamation lawsuit against Brendan Schaub, and maybe not even against Brendan Schaub, but against anybody that kind of brought Ronda Rousey's name into it. You know, because whenever Brendan Schaub said what he said, he never said the word Ronda Rousey, even though that's what we all fucking think he's talking about, everybody, and he hasn't pulled back. Even though we all think that, and he still hasn't came out and said, I'm not talking about Ronda. You know, if he came out and said, I'm not talking about Ronda, that'd be one thing. That would make us go, oh, he wasn't talking about Ronda. It's just some other chick. But then we might not really give a fuck. The only reason we actually give a fuck about them being Eskimo brothers is if it's Ronda Rousey. But since we don't know if it's Ronda Rousey, maybe Dana White comes out and sues a bunch of people that said, oh, Dana was smashing Ronda, because we don't know that. But we just assume that. So that's kind of what I was looking at. You know, they were saying maybe he sues some of the media people that said he was smashing Ronda because no one knows that still. But we'll see what happens out of that. But I'll admit, I changed my title. No, you can't really sue me for shit anyway because I'm broke. But I am saying, you know, they were talking about suing media and bada boom, bada bang. I'm like, I kind of, you know what I'm saying? I assumed that but I don't think I would have been a culprit anyway. I'm not a website. It sounded like they were talking about websites. But still, I'm not trying to be that fucking messy. That's just what we all assumed, you know. But to be fair, Brendan Schaub didn't say it was Ronda. So you got to be easy when you make those assumptions publicly. But yeah, speaking about Coby Covington getting possibly stripped and Darren Till getting the title shot, here's words from Michael Bisping, the Count.
So they're
Mike, what do you think?
Are you
about
rolling video? What do I think of Darren Till? Like
Yeah.
the whole situation?
Yeah, the whole situation could be the next great
Well-
champion, but it's happening under kind of weird circumstances.
Darren Till, first and foremost, good luck, my friend. Go out there, represent England. But screw England, it's got nothing to do with that. He's doing it for himself, and I think he's got a very good chance of winning this fight. Tyron Woodley, of course, is an incredibly tough opponent. He's a dominant champion, and he's great. He is, all round, as is Darren. You know, and Wonderboy, Till, very similar opponents. So I see the fight playing out very, very similar. And the Woodley Wonderboy fights were close. I think this fight will be close as well. I think there'll be very similar fights. The circumstances surrounding it, you know, I always say interim belts aren't worth the leather that they're printed on. I just highlight it. That's no disrespect to the UFC. They're running the business. They're doing what they're going to do. That's why I threw my belt on the floor against Robert Whittaker. That's why I told Coby Covington to take a long walk off a short pier when he talked shit on that thing. Everyone's like, oh, he just won the belt. How can you talk shit? I said, no, he didn't win the belt. He didn't just win the belt, and here we go. Did he win the belt? Is he the champion right now? No.
So none of you.
Coby Covington, good luck going to President Trump with empty hands. Okay? At least I'm holding a beer. You hold it, don't
Mike, what do
Yo, that was hilarious. He said interim belts aren't worth the leather they're printed on it. And as of right now, that's 100% fact. I used to even like hold hope, like, no, the interim belts do mean a little something, guys. That means they get to fight for the title. But now that's not the fucking case. Tony Ferguson didn't get to fight for the title. Coby Covington didn't get to fight for the title. My guy Caleb Dowling says Khabib is live on YouTube, bro. Well, let's check that out. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Whose channel is he live on? Oh, he just finished the Q&A. Okay. Oh, there's the link. Okay. Oh, it just ended. There's the replay. Let's see if we can pull up the replay in this window right here. Here it was.
And my manager go talk with them. They say, we have to give you a couple security guy because these guys put tweet and after he delayed. He said, after court, he put tweet about Cavalieri, let's go to Calgary. Hey, why you need Cavalieri? Come alone and send me location, and that's it.
Send me location. Hey. Send me location. That's it. Man, this is a 30-minute. We can't play the whole thing. If it was time-stamped, I would, just pull up the parts like where he said big announcement soon. But we'll listen to a little bit of it real quick.
Now, oh yeah. Yo.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to do some quick shout outs to my boys first. I got Katie. Oh yeah. I don't know how many of you dick riders paid for that. And then lastly, Artem Lobov. He always looks like he has Carnell's dick up his butt. So which of those three, Habib, is the biggest?
No way, brother.
Okay. Yo, motherfucking fan expos are lit. Yo, that motherfucker was probably drunk. That's crazy, bro. Henry Ford said Bisping got destroyed by a 4-year absent GSP. Hey, leave Bisping alone, buddy. He fought GSP, who was arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, if not the greatest fighter of all time. Leave Bisping alone. Bisping needs to go away full time. He is away. He's not fighting no more, man. Let him do his thug thizzle on social media. He had a good point, and it was just proven, and it was entertaining, man. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Bisping. Heavy, the long way. Forward says, how Russians pull woman in motherland. Send me location. Chill. Yo, I just thought about it. He said something. What did he say? Artem always look. That is fucking crazy, bro. We keep telling full time it's on YouTube. He's not reading the comments, says Gary Kendrick Jr. Actually, I am reading the comments, but there's like fucking 10 comments going by. So when I'm done talking, 10 more went by. So I'm just not seeing that specific comment. But just to be fair, you could put like 5 cents in the fucking super chat, and I'm not asking for money. I'm just saying that's a way to get me to see it if you needed me to. And you know what I'm saying? But like, I can't read every single comment while I'm talking and find them videos. That'd be kind of hard. But yeah, I've saw that about like 3 different times now. But Bisping is the GOAT, says Lux. That's what I'm saying. Bisping the GOAT. LMAO Artem. Yeah, I know, bro. That was crazy. What did he say? Artem always looks like he has Conor's dick in his butt. Like, talk about uncensored. Holy shit. Holy smokes. Forward says, Artem, you eat this slap like woman. Yeah, did you guys see fucking Ali Abdelaziz talking about that incident on the MMA Hour? He was talking about how he's like, you know, Khabib slapped Artem. I don't care who it is. If someone slaps me, I'm reacting like making art. This is going to be a great fight, dog. We could talk about that for like 3 hours straight. I feel you, bro. Don't chop me up. You know, it's all good, Gary Kindred Jr. You have to say he's not reading the comments. Like, damn, yes, I am, dog. And give me, it's kind of hard. Forward says, Khabib is one funny-ass dude, I swear. The Conor Khabib press conference is going to be epic. Which one? Are they going to do this one like a world tour? Who knows, you know? I mean, I would think they should. I want to see a press conference in motherfucking Brooklyn. Let's get one off in Dagestan. Let's get one off in Croke Park. This is that type of fight to me. I think they should do multiple press conferences. But, yeah, it's going to be lit. That's for sure. Moving on, though, we're about to start talking about UFC Calgary, which is taking place this weekend, which is actually where Khabib is right now. That's where that fan expo was taking place, in Calgary. It's Dana White's birthday weekend. Got a great fight card, as I showed you earlier. Fucking, we could have 3 of these fights that could be on pay-per-views if these people were still the champions, but they're not, so we get to see them all on one card. And honestly, to be fair, that shows you why these people want to be champions. That shows you why people fight so hard to get to the belt, why they fucking strategically maneuver to try and become the champion, and then when they get the belt, they hang on to it as long as possible, because when you're the champion, you're making money. When you're trying to become the champion, you're still kind of fucking grinding and having to hustle and do, you know, fight for a lot less. Like, you can fight for $60,000, and then when you become the champion, boom, up to $300,000. I believe that was the Robert Whittaker situation, and I think that was when he became the interim champion. And then now I think he might get $600,000 per fight. So it's like, you make almost, if not 5 times, 10 times the amount of money when you're the champion. So that's why everybody wants to be the champion. It's not because, you know, they're dodging fighters. They're not ducking fighters. They're not scared of these motherfuckers. They're trying to get that belt. They're trying to get a payday. If I take this high-risk fight, if I'm the ranked number 3 guy and I just want to fight the up-and-coming killer, Israel Adesanya or Kamaru Usman, just so they can get closer to the belt, when I'm trying to get closer to the belt, I'm trying, you know, so all these motherfuckers are trying to get to the money. Forward says, Khabib's one funny-ass dude, I swear. The Conor Khabib press... Oh, yeah, we read that. Artem Lobov's funniest moments. He's Artem Lobov, funny moments in UFC MMA. Is that a video or something that's probably pretty funny? What was that? Through injury, through sickness, the Siberian Express, choo-choo, motherfuckers. That was pretty epic, too. But, yeah, man, UFC Calgary, they're looking at the fight card. Look at this. Former champion Alvarez, former champion Aldo, former champion Joanna, all on one card. If she was still the champion, she's on a pay-per-view. If he was still the champion, this is on a pay-per-view. All of these fights could literally, we could be having to wait for like fucking separate pay-per-views. But since they're not the champions anymore, we get to see them all on one main card. What a fucking stacked card. And all fighters, I believe, made weight, which is pretty rare. So the fights are on, man. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be a great day of fights. But speaking of UFC Calgary, Dustin Poirier spoke with the media, and he says he doesn't think Eddie Alvarez is a dirty fighter, but he did some foul stuff. If you recall, their last fight ended in a no contest. Actually, Dustin Poirier was looking great to start the fight off. He had Eddie Alvarez hurt, but it almost felt like Eddie Alvarez was mounting a comeback toward the end of the fight before he threw that illegal strike. And now some people feel like Eddie Alvarez was kind of just trying to get out of there, you know, a little bit of a veteran move, throw the illegal strike. Now it's a no contest when, you know, Dustin Poirier was looking good early in the fight. But the thing is, he did so much damage with that knee, Dustin Poirier kind of had to, what was he supposed to do? Continue through the fight after getting rocked by an illegal knee? And then he might go on to literally lose the fight from that point on. He took a big-ass illegal knee to the head. So really, what could have played out was Eddie Alvarez could have got disqualified. And Dustin Poirier could have just got his hand raised because you got disqualified for that illegal-ass strike to stop the fight. But instead, it ended in a no contest. And after that, Eddie Alvarez was a little slow to accept the rematch. We didn't get to see the immediate rematch, even though Poirier wanted it. Eddie Alvarez got a bigger opportunity to go coach the Ultimate Fighter. Got to coach that whole thing, fight Justin Gaethje, and now in the meantime, in between time, Dustin Poirier, who was on his way to winning the Eddie Alvarez fight, who could have won the fight if it was ruled, in my opinion, the right way. I mean, if one person throws the illegal strike that ends the fight and the other guy might have been winning the fight, I think maybe Eddie Alvarez should have got just DQ'd off of him throwing that illegal strike. But it is what it is. It was no contest. So Dustin Poirier, he didn't get to coach the Ultimate Fighter. He just had to go fight Anthony Pettis, former champion, then Justin Gaethje. Now he's coming into this fight off of a fight with the wrecking ball Justin Gaethje. You gotta wonder, man, how is that going to affect him at all? Do you think Dustin Poirier is 100% coming into this fight? I know Kevin Lee, he spoke about, I think he was speaking on the Luke Thomas MMA show now, the MMA Hour, and he was talking about how after eating leg kicks like that, it's different. You know what I'm saying? You might walk a little different. You might be a little more hesitant in the fight. Now, Eddie Alvarez had to go through the Gaethje fight as well. Both of these guys had to fight that damn wrecking ball. So they both went through those leg kicks from Gaethje. But Alvarez had a little more time to recover from that fight. So you wonder, has Dustin Poirier taken a little more damage since the first fight? Is that going to affect this fight, the rematch? Really interesting scenario. But Dustin Poirier, with all of that being said, even if he feels like Alvarez pulled off a little bit of a veteran move, he's not going to call him a dirty fighter. But he did what he had to do. And that's how the situation played out. If this isn't time-stamped, I'm not going to play the whole deal because probably a whole interview. But if it's time-stamped, we'll hear to his response. Yeah, it looks like they're going to start at the beginning. All right, yeah. So it looks like they're gonna start at the beginning anyway. So I don't want to get copy striked. So another UFC Calgary fighter, Jeremy Stephens, taking on Jose Aldo. He's welcoming going leg kick for leg kick with Jose Aldo. Speaking of leg kicks, Jose Aldo was known to have the most dangerous leg kicks in the game before people really, thought about Edson Barboza. He's always been known as having dangerous kicks as well, but Jose Aldo was really known for his leg kicks. But recently the focus has been on the lightweight division, and we've been seeing dangerous leg kickers like Edson Barboza and fucking Justin Gaethje. So a lot of the attention hasn't really been on Aldo's leg kicks. He's been coming off of a couple losses. He didn't really utilize his leg kicks to his full potential, some people feel like, in his fight with Max Holloway. But in the second fight, he changed up his game plan. Max Holloway was still able to get the finish. But Jeremy Stephens is like, hey, when a reporter asked him about Jose Aldo's leg kicks, let's go. I'm ready to go leg kick for leg kick. Jeremy Stephens is a man on a mission. He's a guy trying. He's for sure the hungrier fighter. I think it's fair to say that coming into this fight. Now, Jose Aldo is looking to bounce back. But here's one thing if you believe in visualization, right? You know how they say, like, you have to envision your future and then it'll come to you, like that, The Secret, whatever show it is. Like, if you think that you're going to be a millionaire, if you just keep thinking it and visualizing it, one day you'll be a millionaire. People, if you believe that, then you probably would not pick Jose Aldo to win this fight because low-key Jose Aldo has been visualizing his exit from the sport. I just saw like an article yesterday where he was saying, he was like imagining life outside of the UFC and talking about his future outside of the UFC. And it's like, it sounds like he almost has one foot out the door. And that's never a good thing. And then if you think about it, if you're visualizing, oh, yeah, I'm going to be retired, then it's going to come to fruition. So if you're a believer of something like that, then that's another reason Aldo might have a tough time in this fight. But who knows? Maybe Aldo comes back and gets this W because he's coming off of some losses, right? Jose Aldo has lost 3 of his last 4 fights. 2 of those are to Max Holloway, and 1 of those is to Conor McGregor. Now, he had that close win over Frankie Edgar, but to be fair, I mean, a lot of people are counting Jose Aldo out, but he's been fighting the best fighters in the world. And I think Jeremy Stephens qualifies as that. He's definitely one of the most experienced UFC fighters in the featherweight division, and he's definitely earned his spot up here in the top 5. But is he Max Holloway or Conor McGregor? That's still to be determined, I guess, this weekend. We see how he does against Jose Aldo. But maybe, Aldo did beat Frankie Edgar not too long ago, so Aldo's been fighting the best of the world. So that's why I don't know if we can count him out against everybody. Just because he lost to Max Holloway and Conor McGregor doesn't mean fucking he's going to come in here and lose every fight. So this is going to be another great fight in the co-main event, but Jeremy Stephens is down for the challenge. He's DTF, down to fight, down for the leg kicks, and he's looking for a potential title fight with a win here. So another reason to watch UFC Calgary is this fight might also have title implications, especially with the Max Holloway situation playing out, right? We don't know what's going on with Max, when he's coming back, what's going on with, is it concussion, is it water poisoning, is it motherfucking mini stroke, is he ever coming back to featherweight? We don't know. So the winner of this fight could be fighting Brian Ortega in an interim title fight, or a real title fight, because I don't think anybody's interested in that interim shit at this point. But you know what I'm saying? So a lot going on in this fight as well. DC deposited $4 million after Jones' last fight. Holy crap, that's a lot of money. I wonder how much he mother trucking got in the Stipe fight, and how much he would get in the Brock fight. $2 million is a fat check. Swanson Moicano, incidentally, is a great fight. Got Moicano via decision, says Forward. Yeah, that's going to be a good fight too, man. Moicano would be undefeated if not losing a comeback loss to Brian Ortega, man. He's a guy, not many people know his name, but he's got skills to pay the bills. He's beat, like, if I pull up Renato Moicano, oh, he's at UFC 227. I'll pull up Renato Moicano, pull up his record. If you don't know who he is, you're going to be surprised. Check out Renato. He's what, 13-1? 12-1-1. But look at his wins. Look who he's beat in the UFC. Win over Jeremy Stevens, and it was a split decision. But look, he outstruck him on the fight metrics and also took him down twice. But Jeremy Stevens, just being so fucking dangerous, probably had him rocked at one point or twice in the fight, which is how, you know, he probably made it a closer fight on the judges' scorecards. So he has a win over Jeremy Stevens. That's impressive. He lost to Brian Ortega, but if you look at the fight matrix, he was definitely up in the striking department, definitely up in the takedown department. So you would imagine if it went to decision, he remains undefeated there. But Ortega with the clutch gene got the third round submission, fight of the night. Then we got Calvin Kattar, Boston native, who looked good in his UFC debut against Shane Burgos. I believe he was like 18-2. Renato Moicano came in here and smoked him. So Renato Moicano is a very high-level fighter. He's going to be taking on Cub Swanson, who's looking to bounce back, you know, and get a W. I think he might be on a 2-fight losing streak. Yep. He lost to Frankie Edgar and Brian Ortega, so he's going to be looking for a win, but Renato Moicano is a very dangerous fighter. So, like, if I was giving you my decision right now, I would probably go Moicano as well. Who knows? I might on my actual predictions, but I just don't want to count Swanson out, you know, especially on a 2-fight losing streak. Hijo de puto, full-time UFC, me machatos, doggies. Yeah, what he said. Hijo de puto. Fucking full-time UFC, me machatos, doggies. I wish I had like a YouTube translator right here.
Is this the money channel?
What the fuck is this, the money channel? Holy smokes, thank you very much for the $2 super chat now and later. I appreciate it, good sir. And I know you said that the PayPal wasn't working for you. I don't know what's good. That might be on your end, because actually, shout out to my motherfucking dog, Kid McFly. He donated $15 actually right before we went live, and I saw it. So the PayPal is working on my end, but I was just letting you know. But I appreciate that $2, good sir. Given your name said, build a Daniel Cormier wrestling room. Dog, low-key DC might go on to be one of the best coaches. Did you see Daniel Cormier coaching on The Ultimate Fighter? That motherfucker can coach. Whether you're someone that's easy to coach, even if you're a motherfucking hardhead in the wrestling room or in the MMA room where you're training, DC will get on your ass there too. There's the dude Tylan Clark on this most recent season of The Ultimate Fighter, and he seemed like he was either training too hard, you know, and his teammates were like, man, this dude's he's acting like we're fighting. We're gonna get hurt. We gotta fight multiple times on this show. What is he doing? He's training too hard. And DC was trying to let him know, like, hey, dog, you're going too hard. It's not necessary. He's like, what do you know? And it seemed like he was a little hard-headed. So what DC did, instead of just trying to verbally coach him and try and talk some sense into him, he let him know, hey, for one, if you don't like how we're coaching, for one, you can get the fuck out of here. And for two, DC put his motherfucking pads on and went down there and said, okay, you want to roll hard? Let me show you how it's done. DC got down and dirty with his ass and started flipping him around and dumping him on his head. Like, okay, train hard against me, motherfucker. And so he eventually, you know, they actually built a bond off of that. DC was like, you know, look, maybe people had him misunderstood, but also he's came along. So DC's a fucking great coach, and he's got a great team. And I think he's already, like, coaching wrestling. So, hell yeah, man. I think DC's, like, great at fucking everything he does, right? High-level wrestling. The way he's really, I can't think of the word, but persisted through the stuff he's dealt with personally, that's also a whole nother level of fucking amazement. But even in his athletic career, as an MMA fighter, he's one of the best in the world. As a wrestler, one of the best in the world. As a fucking coach, probably one of the best in the world. He's like good at everything he does, low-key. Forward says, Helwani just announced Brunson has accepted a fight with Adesanya at 2:30, just waiting for confirmation from the gender bender. Yeah, Brunson, he's been calling it out. But damn, we got Middleweight Square Garden. Holy shit. That's 4 fights in the top 15 of the middleweight division, all on Madison Square Garden. Maybe 5 if Rockhold Weidman comes through. Look at the middleweight division right here. Now, if all these fights actually happen and no one gets injured, we've got Romero Costa. That's 1. Weidman Rockhold. That's 2. We've got Jacare Branch. That's 3. Brunson Adesanya. That's 4. Carlos Jr. was supposed to be fighting Brunson at 227. He got injured, I believe. So Brunson, so that's 4 separate middleweight fights, all in the top 10 that we could be seeing at UFC Madison Square Garden this year. That's a lot of middleweight fights on one card. That division is shaking, boy. That's gonna low key refresh that whole new division. You know, some people are gonna win, some are gonna lose. That division could look entirely different after UFC 230. Brunson Adesanya is banging, man. Weezing336 said, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a banger. I mean, Israel Adesanya, you would think the more experienced striker, but Derek Brunson, you know, very unorthodox in the way his striking in the UFC, and he's definitely knocked a lot of guys out. I mean, you make a mistake, Brunson can knock you out, but he's also probably going to be looking to mix it and show he's a well-rounded fighter. Baby, take Adesanya down. If that you feel like that's your best chance to win, because just trying to outstrike Adesanya, good luck. But if you can mix it up, maybe you have a better chance, but I still love the fight. Given Surname said, yeah, I live there and work there too. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. But the Thomas Blackburn said, why did DC do Gus so hard? He really punked him online. And I mean, I know a lot of people were like, yeah, go DC for what he had to say. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He did, but he kind of, I don't know if punked him is the word, you know. He had some good points, and he talked about how Gustafsson called out his teammate. I feel like DC kind of just took it personal. Whenever Alexander Gustafsson called out Luke Rockhold, you know, after he got knocked out, he's kind of like, man, fuck you. And then now that he's seen him turn down some fights and whatnot, you know, DC definitely went in on him, but that doesn't mean everything he said was 100% right. And also, if you're talking about someone else, that kind of gives people the room to talk about you. What if Gustafsson said, okay, well, then how about you fight fucking someone else? If you're not going to fight me, fight it light heavyweight, and then I'll beat the person you fight or something. I don't know. I kind of like what he had to say, but at the same time, I don't know if Gustafsson, I don't feel like Gustafsson was ducking. So, and I feel like that's what he kind of made it look like. The Gustafsson did have that minor injury, which was the timing was inconvenient. But Gustafsson's one of the best light heavyweights in the world, and I don't think you're going to be able to convince me that he's ducking Khalil Roundtree and he's ducking, who else ducking fucking Anthony Smith. There was one other guy, Jan Blachowicz. And Gustafsson also recently said, I'll fight any of those names if it's for a title. But you kind of see this happening in not just that division, right? There's a lot of fighters that are not interested in interim titles. They're trying to get back to the belt. And so if you got DC, who's fighting a heavyweight now, if he's not going to fight a light heavyweight, maybe you're waiting for that vacant title now. So I think it might be a lot of politicking, but he definitely opened fire, you could say, online. What do you think of Mike Gunn? Oh, he's talking to give him sure name. Gus just needs to fight, honestly. If you're not an active fighter, I don't think you deserve a title shot. Well, in this day and age, you kind of get rewarded for doing the wrong things, right? I don't think if you miss weight, you deserve a title shot. Right? Right? And we've seen that happen now multiple times. I don't think if you're out for a year and a half, you deserve a title shot. I don't think if you fail your USADA drug test and then you come back, you know, I'm talking about Brock Lesnar here now, I don't think you deserve a title shot. But it's not always about deserve. Who knows what who deserves? That's not even how it works. So I can't blame fighters when the UFC continually rewards guys for doing what they shouldn't do, in my mind. Like, we've seen 2 fighters now getting title shots off of missing weight. Now we're seeing a fighter getting a title shot off of a USADA suspension. Why the fuck can't the #1 contender wait for his title shot? I get it. We want to see these guys active, but there's a lot of shit we also don't want to see. So it is what it is, man. Given Sure Name said, I like him a ton as a person. He's a goddamn good program builder. Gotta beat OU. All right, moving on a little bit more on UFC Calgary, though. Tecia Torres said that Joanna Jędrzejczyk told her, welcome to hell during the UFC on Fox 30 face-off. No. No. Please don't, Joanna. The boogie woman is coming for you, Tecia. Crack. Welcome to hell. Tecia Torres is going to be winning title shot. Like, Joanna don't need to do this, man. She don't need to do this, man. At least no one heard it, right? Except for Tecia. But still, what is Joanna doing here? She's just trying to, maybe that's just who she is. But I just feel like Joanna's got to change in some way. And I just picturing Joanna coming off of 2 losses, talking shit at the weigh-ins. I'm like, don't do that. Welcome to hell. That's pretty funny, though. I'm still interested in the fight, but I just think it's funny Joanna still talking that trash before the fight. She told her welcome to hell, and it's another one of them things like, it's not, I don't know, I don't want to call it cringy because we didn't hear how she said it, but at the same time, welcome to hell. It's like, what do you mean? I just watched you lose twice in a row. It's not like I'm fucking fighting Valentina Shevchenko here. It's one thing if Valentina Shevchenko tells Priscilla Cachoeira, welcome to hell. Then you're kind of scared, like, ooh, shit. She's about to fuck her up. But if you're coming off of 2 losses, it's kind of hard for welcome to hell. So, but it is what it is. What is you doing, says MMA Addict. Give me hope, Joanna. That's what I'm saying. Caleb Dowling says, full-time MMA, when did you really start getting into MMA? I just tell this story. I've told it a few times. Back when Rashad Evans, Anderson Silva, motherfucking GSP, Matt Hughes, all those guys were at the top of the sport, But really, me getting into it was Anderson Silva and Rampage Jackson. Those were my 2 fucking favorites. Now, after Rampage lost to Rashad and the way that fight played out, I stopped watching for a while again. But when Anderson Silva was at the top, that's when I was a casual fan. Like, I don't know much about the UFC, but I know when Anderson's fighting, I'm watching. I know I'm learning about the UFC whenever I'm watching Anderson Silva cards. Like how not a lot of people are today with Conor McGregor, I was back during Anderson Silva. But now, I've went back and watched UFC 1, UFC 2, UFC 3, and actually I'm going to start live streaming those, like UFC 4, UFC 5, when I continue to watch those. But I'll probably do it on Patreon, because if I do it on YouTube, they get flagged down, or my other channel. I might just do it on Full-Time MMA 2, and just do it to where you can't replay it. But yeah, I want to watch all of them, I stopped off at 3, but I want to watch 4, 5, 6, just every fucking UFC number. But yeah, I actually got into the sport back when I was a casual Anderson Silva fan. But then what got me back into it, that made me fucking dive balls deep in as I am now, was actually like, really, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot. It was like right before Conor McGregor fought fucking... he hadn't fought Mendez yet, because I was already like diving in, like, yo, he kind of, I was at the point to where I was already looking at, the atomic butt drop. Much appreciated for the $5 in the super chat from Now and Later. He said, nobody's going to jail for busting a window without anyone testifying that they was hard on Conor. We all broke a window before. Obrigado, meu amigo, você está aí. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And especially you got millions of dollars. People want you to like go to fucking jail for breaking a window. And I think that's when people say, no, it's not because he broke a window. It's because Rose Namajunas was shaken up. And then it's like, all right, I get it. And then it's like, oh, and also Ray Bork's eye got scratched. That's why people want him to go to jail. But he's got millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And hindsight being 2020, it's looking a lot more like he just broke a window than caused any permanent damage to any fighters. Unless, now maybe Rose Namajunas has PTSD, and if that's the case, then yes, fucking Conor's evil. But if that's not the case, which I think that's hard to believe, these are fighters, like I've said this in the past. This was a UFC fighter bus. It wasn't a short school bus, with young kids that, it's a little different. These motherfuckers see people getting knocked out and choked out every day. You don't think that they've saw a window broken? But it kind of made it such a bigger event. Like, oh, everyone get mad at Conor. Everyone, when Dana White came out and said, this is the worst thing we've ever saw in UFC history. Like, is it? But, it is what it is, So I think it kind of got trumped up a little bit. Just, But at the same time, I agree. I don't think Conor McGregor should have got a goddamn fucking prison bed for it. Kim Jong-Uzi said, I was arrested for breaking into my house. Now, yeah, there's situations. If you don't have a lot of money, you're going to get fucked over. I've been in situations where I've got fucking stopped for jaywalking before. You know what I'm saying? That shit is really stupid. And it's normally you're being targeted. You're with the wrong people, whatever. There's situations that we're going to get in where we're not going to get off. You break into your own house or whatever. You fucking get into an altercation with one of your family members and the neighbors calls the cops. Neither one of you want to take the shit further, but the cops are out and bada boom. But the thing is, he's got millions of dollars. So yeah, we've probably all gotten into trouble for some shit that Conor didn't. Conor didn't go to jail. I went to jail for this. But if we had $1 million, there's also a lot of people that are rich that have got off of crimes. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the first time we've saw somebody with a lot of money get off of something. It's not like Conor McGregor caught 2 fucking bodies and he got off so he could fight. But yeah, they could have been petty maybe if he wasn't rich. And if it wasn't Conor McGregor, we heard Tyron Woodley say earlier, maybe even if it wasn't Conor McGregor, he wouldn't have got that chance. But this is a special situation. He broke a window. People was all in their panties. I know, man. And that was one of those situations where in the immediate aftermath, I was like, come on, it ain't that big of a deal. But, when you're in the moment, people are like, what? You're still a fan of Conor McGregor after he broke a window? You're so bad full time. And I'm like, all right, guys, I guess. You kind of have to give in for a little bit. Like, shame on Conor. But then once we find out Ray Borg's fighting again next month, Michael Chiesa is going to be booked again 2 months from now. Rose Namajunas, she seems like she's doing okay. I think we can kind of ease up a little bit. Like, whew, he just broke a window. But, it is what it is. If that whole situation didn't happen, who knows? Maybe this fight isn't as big. I don't know. Given Surname said, yeah, I don't mind seeing him get fucked over. He thinks his gimmick should get him a shot. But he's even an exciting fighter here. He isn't even an exciting fighter, so I don't think he's going to be a draw. You talking about Coby Covington? Now, that's not true. If you're talking about Coby, because we saw Chael Sonnen. He's not known for exciting fights, but guess what he is known for? Selling pay-per-views. Before Conor McGregor came around, Chael Sonnen held the fucking live gate record and the pay-per-view record and all of that. You know why? Not because of his exciting fighting style, because he talked to that shit. Now, might take a while for it to catch on, and maybe since it's a different day and age of a lot more sensitivity, maybe it doesn't work, in 2018. But at the same time, maybe it does. I mean, clearly, and this is something that people don't think about because, just they don't have to. If you're not thinking about marketing, if you're not thinking about promoting, you don't really have to give a shit about this. But whenever you make headlines, that's good for you. It doesn't matter if they're good headlines. It doesn't matter if they're bad headlines. If you make headlines, that gets people's attention. So even if Coby Covington didn't sell 1 million pay-per-views in his first interim title fight, we don't know how big his potential is, for one. And for two, one thing he is doing is getting those headlines. And some of you might not see that or know how important that is, but I'm telling you now, Coby's doing, if he didn't do what he's doing now, he'd probably be a lot worse off. Now, his trash talk and his gimmick is not turning him into Conor McGregor, but it's still getting him a lot bigger than he was. Before Coby Covington started doing this trash talk and Brazilians or dumps or, before he started doing all of that shit, we literally didn't even know who he was. He had like 5 wins in the UFC and we didn't even know who he was. Now, even if he's not Conor McGregor, everyone knows who he is. And on top of everyone knowing who he is, everyone might hate him. Some people love him. So it's still working to an extent. Is it going to turn him into Conor McGregor? No, he might not sell fucking 1.5 million pay-per-views, but he might sell 500,000 if he keeps it up. Just because, he doesn't have to get Conor McGregor numbers for that to work. The fact that we all know who he is a lot better than 2 years ago when we didn't. So he might not be Conor McGregor, but it's still definitely having an effect. We've seen this stuff before. It's like tough. Yeah, and it might be diminishing returns. It might not be as many people, but there's some people that are like, what? The people that are hardcore fans and they feel like it's a gimmick, we're going to be like, forget Coby. But there's casual fans, like my brother's Microwave, who doesn't keep up with the sport on a daily basis. If he sees some shit like Coby Covington calls Tyron Woodley boy and fucking says that he doesn't pay his child support, some people are going to be like, hold on, what the fuck's going on? Wait, who said what? Oh, if they see Coby Covington calls Brazilians filthy animals, RDA responds. They might be like, what? If they see that headline. Now, if they don't see that anywhere, they're never going to know about Coby Covington. So it's doing something, but it just might not work on us because we've seen it before. We've seen the chill. But the casual fans, the new fans coming in from Conor McGregor, the people watching this shit for Brock Lesnar, the WWE fans that watch this shit for CM Punk, whenever they see Coby, they'll follow. They're not us. But it's going to work on some people, just because it doesn't work on us doesn't mean it's not working. Forward says if Coby didn't smack talk, he would have had to fight Usman by now and probably held that L. There you go, now and later. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's 100% true. If Coby didn't have that trash talk, he might have to go the fucking Holloway route or the Usman route. You know, Usman's going through that now. He's having to fucking wait for Colby's interim shot. Now Darren Till's getting the shot. What's the difference between Darren Till and Kamaru Usman? I mean, aside, they both beat, one of them beat Wonderboy, one of them beat Maya. So they both beat a top guy, but Darren Till's got a lot more potential to sell, I feel like. Because if you're looking at it, if there was no Darren Till in the picture, and they needed a title fight for Tyron Woodley, it would have probably went to Usman. But the difference is, and think about it this way, Darren Till missed weight. Usman didn't. Darren Till said he doesn't deserve the title shot, and on top of missing weight, it wasn't the most exciting fight. So he wasn't guaranteed a title fight, but he got it, I think, because of his potential. And so if you're not stirring up drama or whatever, then you're going to even be that much farther back, like Now and Later said. You might have to fucking fight Usman, and then you might have to fight RDA, and then you might have to fight this guy, and you know what I'm saying? But it definitely works for some people, just because it doesn't work on all of us. Don't get it wrong. And then now Coby got screwed over. There's even people that are starting to kind of feel for Coby, because it's like, what? He just got stripped? Even though I don't like the guy, that's fucked up. So, Coby, I'll tell you this much, and I know a lot of people don't like this argument. If you just watched his followers on social media in the last year, something's happening as far as there's new people following him. Even if they don't like him, they want to hear what he has to say. So, just because it doesn't work on all of us, don't underrate that that way. Because you saw even if it doesn't get his numbers up there, he did get an interim title fight off of that trash talk. You know, he's getting the opportunities. Even if you don't sell 1 million pay-per-views, you're getting bigger opportunities. You're getting your name out there. So it definitely works to some extent, for sure. Yeah, it has definitely helped. I'm just saying he ain't becoming a star, like, for real, for real. Yeah, like I said, yeah. He might not become the next Conor McGregor, but he's going to be bigger than a lot of the other guys. He's going to be a bigger name than a lot of other fighters. You know, he might not sell 1.5, but he might still sell 0.5 when other people are struggling to sell 100,000 pay-per-views, you know? Like, there's champions that aren't talking trash, like Amanda Nunes, Demetrius Johnson. They've finished fights. They've beat big names. Well, Amanda Nunes has. But they're not really embracing the trash talk or nothing like that. If Demetrius Johnson or Amanda Nunes was entertaining in that way, they would probably be bigger. It's clear, though, just doing the martial arts, just winning fights isn't enough. There's got to be some sort of drama. There's got to be something. You can't just be a regular fighter just winning fights. And there's no better case or proof than Demetrius Johnson or even Amanda Nunes, who are both the best fighters in their division, but they ain't selling a lot of pay-per-views. So there's something to it for sure. But yeah, it might not turn you into Conor McGregor, though. Lewis Blackburn says Coby looked a lot better against Dos Anjos than Usman did in his last fight. Usman, who did he fight last? Maya? I mean, or did he fight Meg? I don't even recall off the top of my head. I think it was Maya. Yeah, it was Maya. Yeah, Coby looked good against RDA. You know, but I think it'd be better to compare their Maya fights instead of saying they're different style matchups. You know, it's like if someone's gonna look better if they fight against Cowboy than if they fight against Wonder Boy. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do that. It's like you got to fight them differently. But I will say Usman looked better against Maya than Coby looked against Maya. I think that's fair to say against a common opponent. Coby is a character, says Weezen336. The more he does this crap, the more people will tune in and watch. Yeah, that's the thing. He's going from zero. He's starting from nothing. Like I said, when he was like 5-0 in the UFC, or actually lost to one time, 5-1 in the UFC. We didn't give a fuck or care about Coby. I think it's safe to say every single person that watches, every single hardcore fan knows Coby. even some of the casuals. So there's a lot of people that fucking know Coby Covington because of this shtick. 1:30 a.m. in the morning, still going strong. Hell yeah, brother. We only got a few other things to talk about, actually. Joanna Jędrzejczyk believes she will be the strawweight champion again sooner or later. And she also told Tecia Torres, welcome to hell. But maybe she will, maybe she won't. Honestly, Joanna Jędrzejczyk is in a real weird situation right about now. I mean, it's what? Strawweight or bust? Because now that we got 125, Valentina's up there, the real boogie woman. So it's like, what does Joanna do? Continue to put herself through this terrible weight cut and try and get back to her title? Or does she move up to her inevitable defeat by Valentina Shevchenko? So, I mean, she's got to really make the correct business decision here, because being the former strawweight queen, it's like, man, she's at a point in her career where we don't know what the hell is going to happen. Now, if she gets this win over Tecia Torres, it's going to be hard for her to get a rematch, right, with Rose Namajunas. So even if she beats Tecia Torres, it's going to be, interesting to see how she gets back to the title. One of the possible routes back to the title is if Rose Namajunas fights Jessica Andrade, and then if Jessica Andrade can beat Rose, then maybe Joanna can rematch Jessica and get the title back that way. Maybe. And then, because this is the thing, if Joanna can become the champion again, if whatever route she can take and finagle to get back to the title spot, maybe by then Valentina's the champion. And then maybe we get to see Joanna lose to Valentina, but still, at least it'll be in MMA and it'll be a champion versus champion fight. So that's the biggest fight possible, as she is toward the end of her career, maybe. Because I don't know really what is there for Joanna, man. It's crazy with those 2 losses to Rose. If Rose is the champion for years to come, for the next year, how is Joanna getting this title back? If Valentina's the champion, how is she getting that title? So we could legitimately be looking at Joanna Contender here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could legitimately be her new name. Because I don't know if she's getting back to Joanna champion in any division. That's what's crazy. And she's having bad weight cuts. But either way, I'm looking forward to this fight. But she said, because I go for the belt after this fight. She said, that's the point. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, I could move up. But I will mark my position on Saturday in the fight with Tecia Torres, and I will get this title shot. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You think people want to see Rose Joanna 3 over a fresh matchup? She already won twice. You think Rose wants to fight you again just because you beat Tecia? Jessica Andrade is already the #1 contender. If Joanna wins this fight, I don't even think she gets a title shot with the win here. Not over Jessica Andrade, because Jessica Andrade is a fresh matchup, and she's fighting Carolina. So if she beats Carolina, she's for sure fighting for the title. But we'd have a real weird situation if Joanna wins and Jessica loses, because then we don't have a #1 contender, except from then maybe Karolina Kowalkiewicz would leapfrog. So it's going to be crazy to see how all of this plays out, but Joanna's looking to get her belt back before she moves to 125. But maybe if she loses to Tecia, she just makes that jump that much quicker. So Joanna's at a real interesting point in her career right now for us to see what's going to happen. If you only knew the power of the dark side, says she needs 2 more wins after this. Maybe 1 more. And here's another situation that could play out. She could get a title shot after this fight, but it's not going to be against Rose. It would have to be like if she waited. If she beat Tecia Torres and then just waited for the winner of Rose versus Jessica, maybe. But that even then, she only gets the title fight, I think, if Jessica wins. I don't think she gets a strawweight title fight as long as Rose is the champion, unless she beats 2 or 3 more girls. But to fight Rose again, you're gonna have to do some work. Weezing336 said Joanna won that second fight. I mean, in order to be the champion, you gotta beat the champion. Woo! You know how that goes. Ain't your boy Ric Flair in this bitch. Weezing336 says Coby is no coward in that octagon. He just keeps pushing forward. Yep. I mean, that relentless wrestling style. That's really also, and it depends on the matchup, but that's a good strategy, especially against a guy like RDA. Usman fighting Ponzi for next up. I mean, they were scheduled to face before. UFC is going to Argentina, I believe, Buenos Aires. That would be a good place for that fight. I know for sure they would like to have Santiago Ponzinibbio to headline UFC Argentina. Who's his opponent going to be? Maybe we actually see that Usman Ponzi fight. But, I mean, Usman luckily got into the top 5. If Damian Maia didn't give Usman that opportunity, he'd still be on the top 10 looking in. But maybe now that he's in the top 5, they're looking for a higher ranked opponent. But you know how that goes, man. Whenever you ain't the one that's getting pushed to the title or whatever's going on, Usman's not really going to get any breaks. He might have to beat Ponzinibbio and then another guy under him before someone finally is like, all right, we got to give Usman the fight. Now later, Sedana said he's letting Coby keep the belt and fight the winner. Actually, I like that, but it's like, god damn, dude. What is happening? I mean, but that does make some sense because that's one of the things that didn't make sense. Coby Covington getting stripped. It's like, what? If he's injured, all right, but why did you even give him the interim belt? So that gives you a little bit of faith in the interim belt, I guess. But it's still kind of like, it's still devalued because it's like when you get an interim title, you're not guaranteed the next title shot. But at least he's guaranteed a title shot if he gets to keep the belt. But that's interesting, yeah. Trevi McTrev says Usman sucks. You probably got a fucking Confederate flag in your room. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Usman doesn't suck. If you only knew the power of the dark side, I don't care what anyone says. Coby is a boss. Hey, man, I mean, you know what? To each their own. But with that being said, we got a great card coming up, you know, this Saturday. And also, but I'm going to show you something, a quick highlight of what's to come at the end of the stream. Oh, shit, son! The fuck with you, boy? Yeah, we should look at that as motherfucking nothing but free on it material, dog. We'll talk about that at the end. But free full-time family, fuck with you, boy, man. We might be off to a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? This On It partnership might take us to a whole nother stratosphere as an MMA channel. Now, that might just be wishful thinking, but I'm being real wishful right now. But we'll talk about that after we go over this UFC Calgary card. Fuck it, we'll go over... We'll just look at all the fights real quick. It is what it is. Starting with Allen, I'll just go over the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about these fights. Alvaro Herrera versus Devin Powell. Devin Powell coming off of a ruptured testicle. Hard for me to pick anybody coming off of a ruptured testicle injury. But I don't believe Herrera has been as active. So if you look at my predictions, I'm actually predicted Powell to win the fight. But I can't be confident in anyone that's coming off of a fucking ruptured testicle. So I wouldn't be surprised if it works. You know, anyone picked this guy just because of that fact. But I don't think he would be coming back to fight if he didn't get that taken care of. But I'm still not super confident. What the fuck? And you know, that's a career ender in my mind. Ruptured testicle, I ain't trying to fight nobody else. What if I get, you know? But he's got that diamond cup, I believe now. Have y'all seen that, like, fucking diamond cup? Like, Kevin Lee was wearing that diamond cup and let someone just, like, fucking roundhouse kick him in the dick. And he just didn't even move. Hands behind his back, just got straight kicked in the dick. Didn't feel a fucking thing. And Devin Powell, after that ruptured testicle, he said he's even wearing he's wearing that shit to the, when he gets a cup of water. He said, I don't ever take that thing off. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at him. He's walking around, you know, making sandwiches, whatever he's doing. When he's cooking, he's wearing this cup now. I ain't mad at him, but I got him winning the fight. We got Nina Ansaroff versus Randa Marcos, the Quiet Storm. This is going to be a good fight. I'm giving the edge to Nina Ansaroff. She's, of course, the significant other and the mouthpiece of Amanda Nunes. But she's taking on Randa Marcos, the Quiet Storm, who's also going to be looking to get a big W and avoid, you know, that potential 800, that 500 record. So this is going to be a tough fight, man, for Nina. But this is a girl that Amanda Nunes sees as the potential former strawweight champion. Now, of course, that's her significant other, so she might see that a little more in her than all of us. Maybe she doesn't become the champion. But still, training with the American top team, training with American Nunes, and everything else. I'm sure she's still going to be turning into a savage and developing her skills no matter how far she gets. So I'm picking Nina Ansaroff to get that dub. We got Matheus Nicolau versus Dustin Ortiz. I picked Dustin Ortiz in this fight. I remember that. Nothing standing out, anything significant I can think of about this fight. 2 top 10 ranked flyweights, though, right? Yeah, they're flyweights. So Ortiz versus Nicolau going down, 2 top 15 ranked guys. Davis versus Chikugian, man. I picked Chikugian to win this fight. Like, her record is deceiving. Like, I'm gonna have to go to Sherdog for this one. Because this is a fight where I was leaning toward Alexis Davis first. She's definitely put in a lot more work. She's fought the fucking legends of WMMA for sure. Let me see if we can find her damn Sherdog. There it is. But yeah, she's got a lot more professional experience, but there's definitely a caveat. She's been less active than Caitlin Chikugian, and Caitlin Chikugian's record's a little deceiving. Now, Alexis Davis, you can see she's got some big wins in her career. Split decision over Liz Carmouche. She's got that win over Cindy Dandois. She's fought Sarah McMahon. She's got a win over Sarah Kaufman. She's fought Ronda Rousey, Jessica Ai, Liz Carmouche again. So she's fought some beasts. You know, she beat Shayna Baszler. Sarah Kaufman, she's fought her twice. Amanda Nunes, a win over Amanda Nunes. You know what I'm saying? She's a beast. Tanya Evinger, she's been fighting. She fought Tanya Evinger twice. She's fought Sarah Kaufman twice. She's fought fucking Shayna Baszler twice. All of these girls. But this is the thing. She started fighting a lot earlier, right? She started fighting way back in 2007. And so later in her career, she hasn't been as active, right? She had, one fight in 2015, one fight in 2017, one fight in 2015, one fight in 2016, 2 fights in 2017. Now, looking at Katlyn Chookagian, now just looking at the record, right? Davis has a lot more experience, right? 19-7. That's 25 fights. 25 fights to 11 fights. That's double the experience. But Katlyn Chookagian, she fought a lot of amateur fights that are not on her record, and she won all of those fights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not going to add that to her professional record, but you can add it to her experience. Actually, she's like 17-1 because, and look when she started fighting her amateur fights, 2012. She started fighting later as well than Alexis Davis. So don't sleep on her. She's also got some big wins. I mean, these two girls, you might not know their names as much as some of the girls on Alexis Davis's resumes, but they're definitely no fucking pushovers. This girl right here, what's her name? Mara Romero Barea. Check her out. She's not a fucking scrub. 12-5 with a win over Kalindra Faria, who's a beast. Milana Dudieva. So this girl, she hasn't been fighting scrubs. She's not just a pushover, a can for Chookagian to fight. Irene Aldana, you know, and you look a little deeper into her, she's not a shit can either. I mean, not the best fighter in the world, but you know, that Irene Aldana one kind of made me look a little sideways. But her only loss was a split decision to Liz Carmouche. So Alexis Davis could very well win this fight. To me, this one's almost a toss-up. I gave the edge to Chookagian, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe coach is picking Davis, and if you're going with the MMA prediction, I would always go with the coach over me because he's gonna know. He probably knows all of these girls down here. You know, Lauren Murphy, Stephanie Drugwood. Coach is WMMA. He knows all of that. So he's going with Alexis Davis, and that makes me reconsider because he's the WMMA expert. But at the same time, I just think there's something about also her activity. Check this out. She fought 3 times in 2016, 4 times in 2016. She only fought once in 2017, but she's already also fought once in 2018, which Davis hasn't. So there's something about the activity. Her record's a little deceiving. Her only loss is a split to Liz Carmouche at 205. So Alexis Davis could very well win this fight, but just going off my memory, I gave the edge to Chookagian. But that's a fight I'm definitely, can't wait to see how it plays out. Another fight on the last fight on the early fight pass prelims, John McDessie versus Ross Pearson. Ross Pearson much needed W. He's a fucking beast. He's a guy that doesn't get the reputation for it, but he's for sure anyone, anywhere, any kind type of fighter, man. Look at his fights. He ain't ducking his taco at all. He's fighting fucking beast. He lost to Will Brooks, took a fight with Masvidal. Lost to Masvidal, took a fight with Stevie Ray. Lost to Stevie Ray. It don't get no easier. He's taking on fucking Dan Hooker. Who the fuck fights Dan Hooker on a 3-fight losing streak? You gotta be a beast. You gotta be someone that just doesn't say no. You're just ready to fucking fight. So that's why I respect Ross Pearson. He was able to get a win. That's not the only reason, but still, you have to respect that. But he coming off of a win over Mizuto Hirota, I'm sure he would like another win, but he's taking on another fucking really tough fighter here. John McDessie, the Bull. So this is going to be a tough fight for Pearson. I think I gave the edge to McDessie. But yeah, man, it's going to be a great fight. That's potentially fight of the night. I think that's fair to say. Moving on to the Hulk in Kutalaba versus Gazimurad Antigulov. This is going to be a fight. I think Antigulov, he's coming from Dagestan. There's a lot of talent coming out of there, but it's still a really close fight. Antigulov he's 2-0 in the UFC, both first-round submissions, taking on Kutalaba the Hulk, he's like alternating wins and losses in his career. But he's lost to 2 of the best fighters he faced, Jared Cannonier and Misha Serkinov, but he's also picked up 2 Ws. So this is a hard one to call because he's lost to the best fighters he's fought, but he still beat some guys in the UFC, and it's still hard to tell where Antigulov is coming into this fight. He's only fought twice in the UFC, and we didn't get to see a lot out of it. But when you look at his resume. I mean, I don't believe he was just fighting scrubs outside of the UFC to get that 20-4 record. I think he was actually fighting in the ACB, yeah. And I've got a lot of respect for the ACB. Motherfuckers in the ACB are good. There's some guys that come out of there. A lot of these Russian or Dagestan fighters that are coming from the ACB, they come over here straight savages. It's not like guys coming over from some random promotion you don't know about. The ACB, I don't know if they're in Russia or what, but they've got a lot of fucking Russian talent that comes to the UFC from the ACB, and they're really good fighters. They'll be like 14-1, and the guys they're fighting are also like 13-2 or 11-0, like some good fighters. Now that's not every single fighter clearly, but there's definitely some good fighters over in the ACB, experienced fighters, 20-13. I mean, not the best resume, but still, you know, that's why I'm not as sold on Antigulov as some of these guys, because some of these guys coming over from the ACB, when you click on their opponents, fucking tough dudes. Now this fight's almost a toss-up for me, but I'm still going to give the edge to Gazimurad, but it's really close. But yeah, I'm giving the edge in that fight to Gazimurad to get the W. Moving on, we got Cajun Johnson versus Islam Makhachev. This is actually an interesting topic because Cajun Johnson, it's like he's getting fed to the fucking sharks. And I can't help but feel like it has something to do with the Project Spearhead. He's like the vice president of Project Spearhead. And now look at this. He's a Canadian fighter fighting in Canada, but he's having to fight this motherfucking Islam Makhachev, 15-1, straight Russian savage. And I looked at the odds because I just did my fake money bankroll right before I went live, which I'll put up right after we go live. I haven't posted the video yet, but he's like a 6-1 favorite. He's supposed to come in here and maul this dude. And Cajun, you know, so it almost feels like a punishment. Almost. Now, I can't be sure. I'm not guaranteeing it because I don't want no goddamn defamation lawsuit or anything like that. But Cajun Johnson is the vice president of Project Spearhead. So it's like, okay, motherfucker, here, you got to go against this straight stud in your hometown. Now you could potentially get ragdolled in front of your home crowd. You know, who wants to do that? Now, of course, he's a beast. He ain't going to turn it down. It is what it is. He's going to come in here and try and shock the world in front of his home crowd. But it's just weird that he's got such a fucking tough matchup in his home crowd, and he just so happens to be the vice president of Project Spearhead. We know the president of Project Spearhead, Leslie Smith, is already no longer with the UFC. She was supposed to fight Aspen Ladd, who missed weight, and the UFC's like, okay, well, if you don't want to take the fight with her, even though she missed weight, we'll pay you like you won, and yeah, that's the last fighter in your contract. We're not interested in re-signing you. So it's like, she's out of here, and she just so happened to be the president of Project Spearhead. Now you see Cajun Johnson, the vice president, and he's getting fed to a straight fucking Russian wolf in his hometown. It's like, I wonder if that has anything to do with this. But you can never be too sure. But still, I got Islam Makhachev to win, straight stud, and he's taking on Cajun Johnson. And if some of you might remember Cajun Johnson from his rap songs, time to make a move, time to pick a fight. And he called out like Ally Quintin, Nate Diaz, Joe Silva, give me Nate Diaz, I'ma keep it real. Raging don't rhyme with your name, won't you try the ninja? You know, he has some, you know, pretty catchy little song, Cajun Johnson. But other than that, he's also a guy that's vocal about speaking up for fighters' rights, and I respect that. People don't really respect his rap skills. They might not be, you know, a full-time MMA, but, you know, respect. And definitely, I always, you know, have an affinity for guys that are sticking up for other fighters. A lot of the times you see these fighters more selfish, especially in an individual sport. This isn't a team sport. I don't give a fuck about how my team, you know, it's not like you have to worry about your teammates, and it's just you. It's an individual sport, so it's a lot harder to unionize and to do anything or fight for the fighters. It's a lot harder to do in a sport like boxing or UFC. So I respect Cajun Johnson for doing that, but you ain't got to be scared to get your ass whooped. And this is, you know, Cajun Johnson's on a 4-fight winning streak, but it could very well come to an end here. But if he wins this fight, holy shit, yo. If Cajun Johnson wins this fight, he might low-key become one of my favorite unranked fighters in the UFC. He just got the win over Stevie Ray. It was a split decision, and I mean, that's interesting to see, you know. He got a split decision. Clearly, the judges don't give a fuck about Project Spearhead. You know, it depends on what they're watching, but he's not, you know, nothing happened in that sense. But he's on a 4-fight winning streak. But check out Islam Makhachev. This is why, even though he's on a 4-fight winning streak at home, he's still a huge underdog. Because, for one, also, if you look at, I did my research for the fights. He fought Zhang Lipeng, Naoki Kotani. So, he hasn't been fighting like the craziest fighters in the world that you might have heard of, but still, his opponents have been getting tougher, and he's on a 4-fight winning streak, still not getting a top 15 ranked opponent. But Islam Makhachev, he's fucking guys up. Unanimous decision, 4 takedowns. Unanimous decision over Nick. And Chris Wade, keep in mind, I mean, you got to look at some of these matchups. He got KO'd by Adriano Martins in the first round. Anybody can get caught. That could happen to Khabib. That can happen to anybody. If you're a dominant wrestler, if you get caught beforehand, that could happen in Khabib versus Conor. Anyone can get knocked out. Khabib has just been able to last and be 26-0. But his only loss is when he got caught. But other than that, he took Chris Wade down 4 times. And Chris Wade was one of the better wrestlers in the lightweight division. So that was a very impressive win, and the way that he won. He took Nick Lynch down 5 times en route to a unanimous decision victory. He just fucking starched Gleison Tebow in his last fight, just straight KO'd him. So he's a fucking monster. Now, so it's going to be a great fight, but we'll see how it goes down. Cajun Johnson's got a lot to fight for here, but he's taking on a very tough fighter. So I definitely got my eye on that fight. Moving on, though, we got Dawodu versus Austin Arnett. But let's check out the Full-Time Family real quick. Now and Later says, why the LGBTQ community doesn't fight to support all the lesbicas. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's also an interesting point. How some fighters get opportunities because they have a country behind them. You might think of, some of the gay fighters. Some of the gayer fighters. You might think some of the gay fighters might get a push, because they might get supported by the LGBT community, but maybe they ain't riding for the fighters like they are for the cause. In Brazil, especially Rio, the woman sometimes tall, beautiful, with huge shots. Be careful. Chill. Shakugian is good, says Now and Later. Who's her coach? Faraz Sahabi? Yep. She might have moved from TriStar. There was a couple fighters that moved from TriStar recently. I'm not sure if she's one of them. But Gary Kendrick Jr. said, what the hell happened to the hype job Will Brooks anyway? He came over as the Bellator champion, lost 2 or 3 fights straight, and now I believe he's in the PFL $1 Million tournament. But he lost some tough fights. One of his opponents, I believe Cowboy Oliveira, missed weight in the fight, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, he's in that $1 Million tournament now. Infamous says Albert Tumanov, 5 fights in the ACB, missed that dude. He was a beast. Yeah, ACB, they got a lot of them over there. Now and Later says SBN MMA hiring if anyone wants to try that job. MMA World got hired. What? What is SBN? Is that like a media website? At first I thought you were saying SBG. MMA World got hired by, hey, if they're hiring some media, I'll put a motherfucking SBN MMA on my thing if they're going to cut the check. You know what I'm saying? Cut the check. Johnny 5, any of these MMA, I'll put an MMA junkie on my motherfucking forehead and on my stream or whatever, man. I don't even know how that works. But, yo, that's interesting to see another YouTube channel getting hired. I'll have to look into that, see what's going on. But we got Hakeem Dawodu versus Austin Arnett. Mean Hakeem is looking to come in and remain undefeated against Austin Arnett, which I believe I did pick Hakeem to get the W. Not a lot standing out about that fight. Hakeem's undefeated, Canadian. Well, yeah, that's why I picked to get the edge. Jordan Mean taking on Alex the Great White Morono. I believe I gave Jordan Mean the edge in that fight. This guy's got like fucking 42 pro fights at like 29 years old, the young gun. A lot of experience in his youth. So that's kind of like Anthony Lionheart Smith. He's a young guy with a lot of fights, and you see how he's looking. So I picked Jordan Mean to win this fight over Alex Morono. Very experienced. Yeah, not a lot standing out. Now to the main card. Now and Later says Ariel Helwani's website. Huh? I didn't even know he had a website. I thought he went to ESPN, but he has his own thing as well now. That's dope. On your forehead like that Drake girl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like SBN MMA, motherfucking. If they're paying me like $5,000 a month, I'm getting the tap, bro. I'm getting the tap, but that's a lot of money. So that's why I would do it. But the minute they take that shit off, bro, I'm getting that shit removed. But moving to the main event. Oh, this is a great fight. Hard to call, man. Super hard to call. I feel like Olivier Albin Mercier might edge it out, but I've got a strong feeling about this Alex Hernandez kid. I think he's got a bright future in the sport. He came in on his UFC debut and knocked out Beneil Dariush and acted like he had been there before. Like, he knocked out a top 15 ranked lightweight fighter in the UFC on short notice, and he was like, yeah, man, this is how we envisioned it all going down. We're not just here to take part. We're here to take over. Everything is calculated down to the decimal point. Just very composed. I believe he's training with Team TJ Dillashaw and those guys at the training lab. Like, I got my eye on this fucking Alex Hernandez kid. I'm telling you right now, he might be a savage. But we also know already Olivier Albin Mercier is a savage, especially coming off of that first-round knockout over Evan Dunham at UFC 223. But he's a very well-rounded fighter. He was training with TriStar. I think he's another guy that might have moved from TriStar, maybe. But he's a good wrestler. He can submit you. He can knock you out. He's fighting in front of his home crowd. So it's really hard to pick against Olivier Albin Mercier in this fight. Because if it goes to the judges' scorecards, you wonder, is that going to go to just his way? You know, is that the crowd's probably going to be louder for him? That could affect the judges. So it's really hard to pick against OAM in this fight. I really think he should get the win, but I think Alex Hernandez might have something to say about that. So we'll see what happens. Olivier Albin Mercier definitely has more UFC experience. Hernandez just made his UFC debut. But not only does he have a great training team, he's got a fucking great composure. He's a strong wrestler. On top of that, it's not like he's just a guy, you know, we don't know much about. Well, some people might not. But before he came to the UFC, he was looked more at as a one-dimensional wrestler. Now, of course, he's been mixing it up. But when he first got into MMA, Alex Hernandez was just a stud wrestler. And that's the best base to have as a fighter. So Olivier Albin Mercier is not going to just be able to out-wrestle this guy if that's how you picking him to win the fight. And so it's going to have to maybe, this fight might remain standing. Who's going to be the better striker? I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but Alex Hernandez may even have better wrestling. I mean, this is a great fight. I can't be super confident either way. Just being in Canada, you might give the edge to OAM, but I've got a strong feeling about this Hernandez kid, so that's why I think I gave the edge to him in my predictions. But we got Tecia Torres versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This could potentially be a title fight under different circumstances. If Joanna was still the champion, which she was for so long, it's hard to envision her as a contender. But now that she is, we get to see her fighting on the damn main card. You know what I'm saying? She's taking on the tiny tornado Tecia Torres. We already talked a little bit about this fight earlier in the show, so we're not going to go balls deep on this topic. But Joanna Jędrzejczyk, former champion, looking to get back to the title. Tecia Torres also has a lot to fight for in this fight. If she wins, she's got a history with Rose. She'll be beating a former champion, has a history with the current champion, Tecia Torres. And I just noticed this. We got Amanda Nunes and Raquel Pennington, significant others on this card, because Nina Ansaroff is on the prelims, and we got Tecia Torres up here. So that's just a side topic. I wouldn't be surprised if Amanda Nunes and Raquel Pennington are here. And hopefully, actually, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about in the Ansaroff fight. That's what actually helped lead me to my prediction. Speaking of coaching, if you watch Nina Ansaroff's last fight, dog, Amanda Nunes was in her corner, and she sounded like, man, I'm not even fucking listening to nothing, and that keeps falling out. But Amanda Nunes was in Nina Ansaroff's corner, and she sounded like the best coach in the corner. Pressure her! Go now! Go now! Like, so if she can have her in her corner, though, that's even more of a reason I would pick Ansaroff to win that fight. But on this fight, though, a lot to fight for here. Potential title eliminator. Both of these girls looking to get toward the title fight. I gave the win to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but if I was betting, I'm not going to lie, man, I would put a little bit of money on Tecia Torres. Not a lot. I wouldn't go crazy, as you'll see in the betting with my betting thing that I'm going to release later, betting on the fights with fake money. I actually put a little bit on Tecia, because if she wins, she's the biggest underdog on the card, if I'm not mistaken. And she's got a lot to fight for, on top of training with Rose Namajunas. Now, I know everyone's kind of expecting Joanna just to win this fight, walk away with the fight, but I'm interested in this fight. I'm not just picking Joanna to run away with it, because another thing, we don't know how her weight cut's going to be. There's a lot of factors that are not just the skill level that play into this fight. There's a lot of intangibles that are like, man, that makes it that much better of a fight. So, moving to the co-main event, though, Jose Aldo, Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens, he's got a lot to fight for. He wants his first crack at the title. He's for sure the hungrier fighter. Jose Aldo's tasted the gold. He was the champion for years. He's 3-4 in his last 4 fights. He's only won 3 of them. But still, he's looking to get back on the winning track. He just lost 2 fights in a row to Max Holloway. People are looking at Jose Aldo like chopped liver out here. You think he is? It's kind of hard to pick Jose Aldo losing 3 fights in a row. Jose Aldo, that was the fucking champion for like 5 years in a row. Now, lose 3 fights in a row. And this is another thing. He's only 31. Yeah. Jeremy Stephens is 32. Jose Aldo is 31. Who would have thought Jose Aldo was the younger fighter coming into this fight? He's 26-4, so actually Jeremy Stephens is more experienced. But Jose Aldo's only 31 years old. So that's something he has going for him. They're pretty identical in age, but still, I didn't think Jose Aldo was that damn young. But he is. But I gave Jeremy Stephens the nod. I mean, he's a guy that if Brian Ortega would have said yes, he wouldn't even have been in this fight. He's trying to get to that title fight. And he almost got it whenever Max Holloway was injured. But he didn't. So he's got to get through at least one more fight, Jose Aldo, before he gets the shot. But yeah, man, Lil Heathen Jeremy Stephens on a 3-fight winning streak. Wins over Josh Emmett. Was it Cub Swanson? No, Doo-Ho Choi. He knocked out Doo-Ho Choi before Josh Emmett. So he's definitely a dangerous fighter. Now, Jose Aldo was dangerous, but it's kind of hard to know where he's at. And that's why I'm not counting Jose Aldo all the way out. I'm picking Jeremy Stephens to win, but this is the thing. Jose Aldo's been losing to the best fighters in the world. It's not like he's just fell off of a cliff and he's losing to the fucking 10th ranked guy. He lost to Conor McGregor and then Max Holloway twice. So he lost to the best fighters in the world. So we don't know. Is he going to lose to Jeremy Stephens? Jeremy Stephens is looking to show he's one of the best fighters in the world, as he's done in his last 3 fights. So this co-main event's an amazing co-main event. I'm just going to enjoy it. Hard to make a pick. I'm giving a slight edge to Stephens, but goddamn, it's close. Webb's PK Vid says, I thought Aldo was at least 36. I know this might be one of those situations like, what's up with that birth certificate, right? He definitely don't look 31, and I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm not the only one that was surprised when I heard that. You're not the only one, Webb's PK Vid. Someone was like, what? Aldo's 31? What? Like, so maybe that's one of those Francis Ngannou situations. All right, I'm just kidding. All right. Now and Later said, that one guy that was making this imitation embedded videos got booted, UFC. Imitation embedded videos? Oh, snaps. Yeah, I didn't see those, but that's interesting. I mean, I've probably seen 1 or 2. I'd have to see who you were talking about. Now and Later said, I don't see him linked to UFC. Gotta look. That's really good if he did. Kenshiro Ryu's talking to Now and Later. All right. Moving on to the main event, because all the comments I was just reading were responses to other people, so it's kind of throwing me off. But yeah. Oh, did you see Quick Topics making videos again? No, but I know that there was the fake MMA Fast Topics in here. I don't know if it's the old Fast Topics. I don't know if it's the actual one, but if it is, maybe he wants some smoke. I don't know. We'll see. I'll look up on that, but no. But that's he who must not be named. No free promo over here. That's why I'm calling him Fast Topics. He can really eat a dick. # fuck the other side. Kenshiro Ryu says, I'll order 3 fried Brazilian frogs, please. Interesting. Anatomy of a Fighter said, given sure name. Anatomy of a Fighter was a good channel. I hope that's not who. That'd be fucked up. I've heard of that channel, so maybe if they got shut down, that'd be interesting. That's why I don't like playing no clips. None. Motherfucking, if it's embedded, none of that. I like that Mackenzie Dern reaction I did to the embedded on my other channel. After I felt like it got its maximum views or whatever, I took that shit down. I ain't got time for them to be hitting me at the same time. MMA Tonight is Fast Topics girl or his friend. Yeah, I heard about that back in the day when we were going at it. I don't know who that is. I don't even, is that channel still around? MMA Tonight? I don't even know if they're still around, but yeah. We got the main event though. Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier. First fight ended in a no contest. This is a long-awaited rematch. I mean, Dustin Poirier's been waiting for this. He's had to fight 2 guys to get this rematch. I picked Dustin Poirier to win the fight, but Eddie Alvarez is the most violent fighter. He's got the title for the most violent fighter. Also the Underground King, Eddie Alvarez. He won that crown from Gilbert Melendez back in the day. So Eddie Alvarez is actually the king of all the unofficial titles, and he used to be the official UFC lightweight champion. Never want to count Eddie Alvarez out. Much respect to him and everything he does, you know, that he's put on the shows he's put on for us as fans. But Dustin Poirier, I feel like, man, he might have his number in this one. He looked great in the beginning of the first fight, and on top of that, Dustin Poirier is coming for that motherfucking throne, dog. He could have had this title fight if the division wasn't log jammed, this lightweight division. He could have been fighting Khabib. Khabib actually said, hey, if Conor don't get his shit together, or his team said, if Conor don't get his shit together and we don't have a fight by the time Khabib's ready, we'll be fighting Poirier. But it looks like we're going to be seeing Conor McGregor versus Khabib, so Poirier might have to fight one more time. And that one more fight might be Eddie Alvarez. But this is where the plot twist comes in. Because Dustin Poirier might not get a title shot even after this fight. As crazy as it sounds, yeah. That's what happens when a division is logjam, because Tony Ferguson, El Cucuy, might be on the way back. And if he's on the way back, a lot of people feel like Ferguson should be getting the title shot. So then, what if we have a healthy Tony Ferguson and a healthy Dustin Poirier? Then who gets the title fight? Do they fight each other? That's where neither one of them will get a title shot. Or does one of them just get skipped over? How does that work? We don't know. So no one's guaranteed a title fight with the win here, but it's kind of got title implications. But yeah, I'm giving the edge to Poirier. I bring you to the good parts in Brazil. Hey, I'm down. Motherfucking bring me on over. Sister girl, maybe I know they close. He makes them, she talks. Maybe, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a different channel, you know, or something like that. I mean, you know, just trying to get ads or something, because it's not like he actually shut his channel down. It actually got copy struck down. He just didn't want to have to re-put in the work and, you know, build his subscriber base back up. So his shit got shut down. So maybe he did have another channel where he just did like highlights or some crazy shit. But yeah. But with that being said, full-time family, this is a motherfucking huge, crazy fucking moment for the channel. Holy smokes. I'm even going to make a fucking video on this right after we're done, because I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I know you're like, why is he so excited? Because you can get some motherfucking free Alpha Brain. I'm not talking about no money. Keep your money in your wallet. Motherfucker, save it for the whatever your party supplies this weekend. However you want to spend your money, go get you some motherfucking whatever you want, because we don't need none of it. All we need is some free Alpha Brain. And who the fuck wants a Beta Brain? Are you kidding me? Who the fuck wants to be a Beta Brain, the baby back bagel biting bitch boy? Not me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sign up for a free bottle of Alpha Brain. And I'm not talking about no money. I'm talking about free. What's better than Alpha Brain? Free Alpha Brain. Nothing else. And oh, by the way, if you don't want a fucking Alpha Brain, if you're content with having a Beta Brain, oh, don't worry. You can get free motherfucking Shroom Tech Sport. You want some fucking workout stamina? You want to fucking utilize all your oxygen? You want some ATP energy? You know how fucking this goddamn amped right now. I'm sorry. Check out some Shroom Tech Sport for free. For free? You can't beat it. That's all I'm saying, full-time family. If you want some free shit and it also helps the channel, fuck with your boy on it, affiliate. My bad. I'm just excited because it's free samples. I ain't got to hit you up for no motherfucking money. This is a way that I can help you help me. I'm going to get you the shit you need, so you ain't got to have a Beta Brain. You're going to get some free Alpha Brain. You're going to get some of that Shroom Tech Sport. And oh, by the way, that's not all. Free motherfucking new mood. When you're done with the workout, when you're done being a fucking beast and you're ready to motherfucking relax and watch the fights and chill, or even just sleep, whatever you need to do to settle down, you can motherfucking get the free new mood. And by the way, did I mention that it's motherfucking free? I don't think I did, because it's free. What are you really talking about, full-time family? And I don't even know if I can give you the details, but I'll just tell you I get $10 when you sign up for a free motherfucking thing. So I'm just saying, we got what? 25 people listening. If 5 people sign up, boom, 50 to the channel. And it didn't take nothing but your email address. So with that being said, the links are going to be in all the descriptions. I don't even know if it's in this live stream description, but just know this is going to be something that we're fucking with. Who don't fuck with Onnit? We all do. We all know about Onnit by now. If you don't know about it, from Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, yada boom, bada bang, all these motherfuckers. So with that being said, I'm super excited about our new partnership with Onnit. Motherfucking total human optimization. So expect to be hearing a lot more about Onnit as we try to push these motherfucking free supplements on you like a Sam's Club. But that's not all. If you loved the Alpha Brain, if you're done with your Beta Brain, you never want to go back to that shit, one thing you can do is get 10% off of all motherfucking supplements and food at Onnit.com with the code GETONIT. But make sure you click the link in the description. That way you know what I'm saying, when they know that I sent you, that we sent you, you know what I'm saying? That way they know you're part of the full-time family and this ain't just for all for naught. But yeah, man, fuck with Onnit, man, because they fuck with your boy. And with that being said, that's a